Hello and welcome to Pabbly. So in this video, we will be discussing the top 10 automations related to Google Docs that you can set up with Pabbly Connect. So as you all know, the Google Docs is one of the most popular online document creating application used by a lot of people. And there are a lot of things, a lot of tasks related to Google Docs that you can automate. Whether it can be getting the data from an application, creating or sending certificates or document in bulk, or sending a digital file from Google Docs as you receive the payment from your payment gateway. Or it can be adding the content generated by AI platforms automatically into a Google Docs and creating a document. The possibilities are endless. So let's start with this complete guide, a step-by-step process in which we will be explaining each and every video, each and every task or automation that you can set up with Google Docs.
Hey everyone, in this video you will learn how you can automate your whole business process right from taking the orders to receiving the payments from your customers using Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Sheets and Gmail applications. So this will be the flow of this automation, guys. Here we are using Google Forms to take orders from your customers. So we are connecting Google Forms as our trigger application, and the trigger event is the form submission. So as and when you are going to receive the order from Google Form, the action towards that trigger event would be to create an invoice in Google Docs application, and then the same invoice will be shared from your Google Drive in PDF format, and a confirmation email will be delivered along with the payment link to your customer automatically. So all this is going to happen automatically with the help of our automation. So you can set up this automation very easily without any coding or programming and can save immense amount of your time and manual efforts. Let me show you how. So guys, first of all, you need to reach this link pabbly.com/connect. We have pasted the same link in the description as well. From here, you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account by clicking on the sign up free button, and you will get free automation task to test your automation. Okay. So sign up, then log in to reach here on this dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here you have to create a workflow of automation. For that, just click on this create workflow button, and here you can give any suitable name to your workflow. So I am giving the name as automate your business or business automation using Google applications. Right, so after giving the name like this, you just have to click on this create button, and you can see your workflow page started loading up here. And this is the workflow page. Here you will find the building blocks of this automation, which are trigger and the action. So here trigger is that event which is going to trigger this workflow. So it is saying when this happens, and action is the response towards the trigger. It will make Pabbly Connect perform any action. Okay. So here in the trigger, we are going to connect the form first by which we are taking the order. That is the first step for any business, that first of all we are going to take orders from the customer. So as the order has been received, I want that this workflow should trigger and run in the background and do our work. So here select the trigger application as Google Forms. Google Forms, where it is? Here is Google Forms, select it. And in the trigger event, select this new response received option. Okay. So with the help of these instructions and this webhook URL, we are going to make a connection with our form. After that, we are going to capture the response of that connection. So let me show you my form. This is the form I have created for medicines business. I just have taken the example of medicines. You can create this form for any kind of business using Google Forms application. So here we have attached a spreadsheet with this form to collect the responses or the orders from the customers. So this is a spreadsheet. Let me show you. This is a spreadsheet I have connected with this form named as medicine order form final. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to make a connection. So by reading the instructions, you can do that. Let me show you directly how you can do that. So guys, I have opened my same form in incognito mode also, because when you connect Google Forms or Google Spreadsheets with Pabbly Connect, and if you are using multiple Google accounts, there can be some issues in connection. So it is better to open your form or your sheet in incognito window, right? And here, this is my collection spreadsheet in which I am collecting the responses from the form. So guys, here what you have to do in this spreadsheet, you have to click on extensions and you will find this add-ons option. From here, click on get add-ons and you have to install an add-on here from Google Workspace Marketplace. Search for Pabbly Connect webhooks add-on. Pabbly Connect webhooks. Okay. And you have to install this add-on here. So it will just take 2 minutes to install it. As you can see, as I have already installed it, so I do not need to install it again. But once you install it, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. This is an important step. After installing Pabbly Connect webhooks add-on, refresh the spreadsheet. And after refreshing, when you click on extensions, you will find Pabbly Connect webhooks option available here in the drop down only. So from here, you have to click on initial setup. And under initial setup, you will find two fields here. First is the webhook URL field and the trigger column field. So in the webhook URL field, you have to paste this webhook URL that you got here in the workflow. You have to copy this and paste it here in the initial setup webhook URL field. And in the trigger column field, you have to mention the name of the final data entry column that you have in your spreadsheet. So final data entry column means the column in which when you enter the data, that is going to trigger the workflow. That is called final data entry column. So our H column is the final data entry column. So as the data submitted here in this H column, the workflow will be triggered. So H our final data entry column. So first let me copy this webhook URL from my workflow, guys. Just click on copy from here. Go back to the spreadsheet, extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, initial setup. All right, and here a webhook is already pasted. Let me remove this and let me paste this new webhook URL. And the trigger column is our H column only. Okay. And here you can see, as I have copied this webhook URL, it started showing waiting for the webhook's response. This means our workflow started listening to the data. And now what we are going to do, we are going to capture the data of the form response that we have in our spreadsheet here in this workflow. So that will act as a test data for us to set up this automation further. Okay. So here you can see we have this send test button in this initial setup. So guys, when you click on this send test button, the data of the first row or the first response that you have collected in this spreadsheet will be delivered to your workflow as the test data. Okay, let me show you. I am clicking on send test here. And you can see it is written here, test data sent successfully. Okay, and this is the data that is sent. Let me show you in my workflow. Here you can see in this response section, we got the data. The full name is showing demo person, the phone number, the email address, and all the things that we have in our spreadsheet. You can see here got collected here in the workflow, right? So according to the form, we have received the medicine's name, we have received the address of the person, we have received the email address of the customer, we have received the quantity ordered. Okay, so that these are the things that we have asked from our customer via this form: full name, phone number, email address, medicine name, mode of payment, and the quantity. And these are all the things that we have received here, you can see, right? And that's how we can capture the test data. Now go back to your spreadsheet, and from this initial setup, click on submit. So we are done making the connection. Now we have to do one thing more here. Click on extensions, and from this Pabbly Connect webhooks option, check this send on event button also. Send on event option. So when you check send on event option, what will happen? Whenever there is a new response in this spreadsheet, the workflow will be triggered and your workflow will run. Okay. Now guys, what I want after taking the order, I want that invoice will be created automatically using my Google Docs application. So in Google Docs, I have created a template of invoice. Here you can see in this template, I have created this kind of invoice. You can create your invoices or bills accordingly. I am just showing you the demo. And in this invoice, you can see we have this order number here in double curly braces, name of the customer, medicine's name, quantity, price, total value, email addresses, date. So I have put these things in double curly braces here. So this means these are the variable tags I have added here. So this means these are the things which are going to change with every new invoice. With every new invoice, the customer's name, the order number, the medicines, the quantity, the price, the total, everything is going to change. Okay, so that's how you have to create a template with these variable tags. Okay, now here you can see we have this price and total fields here. Here I want to mention the unit price of the medicine and the total price according to the quantity. So to place these values here, we have to calculate these values. So guys, to calculate these total prices, we are going to use this data that we have received in our workflow. But guys, here you can see we have just received the quantity and the product's name. We do not have the price mentioned here anywhere. But we do have the price list here in my spreadsheet. You can see in this spreadsheet, here I am collecting responses, and here I have another sheet named as price list. So here I have the list of the prices of these medicines. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect which is called lookup table, and with the help of lookup table we are going to create a table by which you can create labels like the quantities and their prices, and you can pass those labels later on in next steps. Okay, let me show you what exactly I mean to say this. Here search for lookup table module, lookup table. Okay, and the action event select lookup table only, then click on connect, and here it is asking for the lookup key, the fallback value, and here you can create labels and pass on values. Okay, so guys, what I want here, first of all, let me show you how to create labels. I want to pass the values of the medicines and their prices. Just like I have entered the data here, I want to create same entries here. So here you can just put the name of the medicine like this. I have Corflam. Okay, and here in the value you can put the price like this. Okay, then you can add another column or row here by clicking on this plus icon, and here it will create another label. Here I am going to mention another medicine's name. Just copy this value from here, put the value here, and then put the price. What is the price? 110. Okay, similarly I am going to create two more labels because we have given 4 options here in our form. We have 4 options here. So next medicine is this Novamax. So guys, here you can see I have created this a kind of table here in which in the first column I have mentioned the medicines names label, and here are the values of the price of these medicines. Okay, and here now what I'm going to do here, it is asking for the lookup key. So it is asking which value you want to look up for from this table that you have created. So I want to look up for this medicine whose name we have received here in the first step. So here I am going to look up for this medicine's name, aspirin 5 mg. Okay, and here I am going to look up for this value from this table. Okay, so we do not have the name of this medicine here, so let me create another label. I am clicking on plus icon. So guys, I have created another label here and put the price. Now let's look up for this value here in the lookup key field. Just click here and it will show you the previous step in the drop down, that is the trigger step. And when you click on it, it will show you all the data that you have received in the first step. So from here I'm mapping the medicine's name, and let's search for this value here in our lookup table. So I'm clicking on save and send test request. And here you can see we got this result label in which it is showing you the medicine's name and the result value in which we got the price. Now we got the respective medicine's name and the price according to our form submission. Now what we can do, we can calculate the total amount by multiplying this price with the quantity we have received here in the first step. Okay, so to multiply that, what we are going to do, just click here on this plus icon, and from another action step I'm going to use number formatter feature of Pabbly Connect. Search for number formatter and in the action event we have this perform math operation. So you can perform mathematical operation by this, select it. Okay, then click on connect. And here it is asking for the numbers on which you want to perform the mathematical operation. So guys, I am going to map this result value in which we got the price of this medicine and the quantity label from the first step. So to map the data, just click here, and from the first step map the quantity label, then put a comma, and from this lookup table step map the result value label. Okay, and then select the operation as multiply. Okay, and then click on save and send test request. And here you can see in the result label we got the total amount. Okay, multiplied. Now we can use this data to put the value here in your invoice in the total field. Now guys, it is time to create the invoice, to generate the invoice from our template, and for that just click here on this plus icon, and from this action step search for Google Docs application. Here is Google Docs, and in the action event you have to select create document from template option, then click on connect, and from here select add new connection. If you're making the connection with Google Docs for the very first time, select this option, and this connection that you're making here by selecting new connection option is going to be saved in your account. So if you want to make the connection again in future, you can use the saved connections also by selecting the existing connection option. All right, right now let me show you this process. Just click on connect with Google Docs. So from this window you have to select that Google account by which you have created that template. Okay, then you have to provide some additional access to Pabbly Connect. So just click on continue from here, and you can see we are getting connected. All right, so we are now connected, and here it is asking for the template document's name. So guys, this is my template document. The name is Invoice Medicine Template. So I'm going to select this template's name from this list. Okay, here you can see all the documents that you have in Google Docs. From here I'm selecting this one, the medicine invoice template. Okay, and here it is asking for new document's name and the new document's location. So guys, from this location field you have to select that Google Drive's folder in which you want to save this created invoice. So guys, this is my Google Drive, and here I have this med invoices named folder. So here I want to save the newly created invoices. Okay, and so I'm going to select this med invoices folder from this folders list. Okay, and to give a name to this newly created invoice, I'm going to use the data of the customer. So from this first step I'm going to map the person's name. Okay, and here I'm going to put the name as this person's name and an underscore and invoice. So on this name the invoice will be created. Now it is asking for the order number, name, medicine, quantity, price, total, email, address, and date. What are these things? These are nothing but the variable tags that you have placed in your invoice. Okay, you can see order number, name, med, quant, price, total. These are the fields that are here. So to get these things changed automatically with every new invoice, we need to map the values of these things here in your workflow. So to map the data, I'm going to use the first step. So for order number, I'm going to use the Google Forms step, and I'm going to map the sheet ID as the order number, and along with sheet ID, I'm going to place an underscore, and I'm going to map the row index as well. Okay, so to create a unique order number. Now for the name, use the first step only and map the name, and for the medicines, use the first step. This is the medicine's name. For the quantity, use the first step, map the quantity. And for the price now, we are going to use the lookup table step or the number format. No, the lookup table step. From the lookup table, we have fetched the price. So here is the result value. This is the price of this medicine, map it. And here in the total field, I'm going to use this number formatter step where we have multiplied and got the total value. So map this result label here. For the email, use the same way. The first step, this is not an email. This is the email. For the address, use the first step. And for the date, use the first step only, right? And this is how you can map the values. And guys, we are mapping these values from previous steps because after setting up this automation, whenever you are going to receive any order, these mapped labels are going to be updated automatically and a new invoice will be created with new details according to the mapped labels. Okay, so to check your connection with Google Docs, you can click on save and send test request and a new invoice will be created and will be saved here in this mad invoices folder. Let me show you. I'm clicking on save and send test request. So this is the response we have received here. Let's check in our folder in Google Drive and you can see a new invoice is created here with this name demo person underscore invoice. And let me open this for you. And here you can see guys, it is showing thank you for your order. The order number is this. In place of this variable tag, we got the order number placed automatically. Hi demo person. Okay, in place of the name tag, we got the name. And you can see in the description, we got the medicine's name, the quantity, the unit price, and the total amount. And all the things are placed here automatically because we have mapped the values of these things here in our workflow. All right. Now guys, we got this invoice saved in our Google Drive. And I want to share the PDF format of this invoice with my customer. For that to happen, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on this plus icon. And here I'm going to connect Google Drive now. And with the help of an action event of Google Drive, we are going to create a PDF link of this document that we have created. So search for Google Drive here. Okay. And in the action event, select this share a file with anyone option. Share a file with anyone. Okay. Then click on connect. And from here, select add new connection option. Then click on connect with Google Drive. And from this window, select the Google account by which you have the access of the drive. Okay. And then give the additional access to Pabbly Connect. Just click on continue. And you can see we are connected with the drive now. And here it is asking for the files ID. So guys, here you can see in the previous step where when you have created the document with the help of template, it has given us a document ID here. This is the document ID. So I'm going to map this document ID label here in this step. So just toggle this map button to on first. Okay, then erase this field. And from this fourth or the last step, map the document ID label like this. Okay. Then click on save and send test request and you will get the shareable links of the file. Here you can see we got these links and here we have this PDF link also. Let me show you. This is the PDF link of our file or the invoice, right? Now we can send this link to our customers via email. But before this, what I want to create a payment link for my customer to collect the payment for this medicines that the customer have ordered. For that to happen, just click here on this plus icon and here I'm going to connect a payment gateway application which is Razorpay. Okay, so in place of Razorpay, you can select Instamojo or PayPal or Stripe. I'm selecting Razorpay to show you the demo. And in the action event, we have this create payment link option. Select create payment link, then click on connect. And from this window, select add new connection. And here it is asking for the key ID and the key secret of Razorpay. So to get these two things, you need to reach the settings of your Razorpay account. Then you can generate the key. So let me show you my Razorpay account, guys. This is my Razorpay applications dashboard. Here you can see we have this settings option. on the bottom left hand side. Under the settings page, we have this API keys tab. Click on API keys, and here you can regenerate a test key for yourself. So click on regenerate test key. Okay, I'm deactivating the old one. And here we got the key ID and the key secret. So you just have to copy this key ID and paste it here. And similarly, copy the key secret, paste it here, right? And click on OK. And from here, click on save, and you will be connected with Razorpay. So we are connected now, and here it is asking for the amount. So here it is asking for the amount of which you want to create the payment link of, and the currency and the type and all these things. So I'm going to use the previous steps. So for the amount, use this number formatter step where you have calculated the total amount. This is the result label, map it. For the currency, so I am residing in India, so my currency is INR, Indian National Rupees. So I'm just copying this INR and pasting it here. You have to find your codes from this list of supported currencies page. Here you can see the codes, and you can just enter the codes here in the currency field. The type of my payment link is link. Okay, here you can provide a description also of which thing you want to collect the payment of. So I am giving the description as payment link for the order of medicines, right? Here you can map the customer's name, the customer's email from the first step, the contact number if you have. All right, so if you want to expand your link, you can select expanded option, or if you want to make it in show more option, you can select show more. Here it is asking a receipts number, so if you want to put a receipt number, you can put it here. These are not compulsory things, so I'm leaving these things blank. So here it is asking for the expiry timestamp of this payment link. So every payment link have some expiration date. So let's say you want that your payment link that you are sending to your customer should be expire in 24 hours. So you want to give the time of 24 hours to your customer to collect the payment. So you have to put the timestamp here. So guys, you can see we have received this data from our form, from the trigger. And in the data from the trigger, you can see we have this timestamp in which we have the time and the date in the value field. Okay, but guys, we want the timestamp in Unix format here. Okay, in Unix format. So to convert this time and date in Unix format, what we are going to do, what we just are going to add some action steps here in between these two steps, or before Razorpay step. Just click here on this plus icon, and from here I'm going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect which is called date time formatter. So guys, we are going to put the timestamp which is 24 hours ahead in the future, so that our customer can get the time span of 24 hours to complete the payment. So first I am going to add one more day or 24 hours to the date and time at which we have received the form response. Okay, so I'm going to add one more day to this date, then I'll convert it into timestamp. Okay, so first of all, just come here. So from this date time formatter, select the action event as modify current date option. So it is going to modify the date on which you have received the form submission or the order. So click on connect here. And here it is asking for the dates format. So you can select any date format, let it be as it is. And here it is asking for the time zone. So my time zone is Asia Kolkata. All right, and here it is asking for the operation. So I want to add one more day to the current date. So select the unit as days and put the value as 1, and then click on save and send test request. All right, and here you can see we got this date time label here like this, right? So this is the date ahead in future, one day after. So now I want to convert this date into timestamp. So just click here on this plus icon, and from this action step, search for date time formatter again. All right, and now select format date with time zone as the action event. Then click on connect. So here it is asking for the date. So I'm going to use the previous step, and I'm going to map this date time label, but you have to map the date time in this format. Okay, but we have the date in this format. So let me change the format here one more time. You have to select the date format accordingly. Select this one, this option, YYMMDD, a T in between, then hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, let me click on save and send one more time. Now we got the exact date format that we can convert it into timestamp. So map this date time label now here in this date field. So just click here on this field, and from the last step, the sixth one, map the date time label like this. Okay, here it is asking for the from format. So we got the date in this format only. So you have to select the date format in this format. You have to select this format in which you have mapped the date here. So this is the same format, no need to do anything here. And in which format you want to convert, you have to select here in this to format option. So I want to convert this date into timestamp. Here we have timestamp option, select it and select the time zone as Asia Kolkata. So my time zone is Asia Kolkata. You have to select your time zone. Okay, so I'm selecting Asia Kolkata one more time. Okay, then click on save and send test request. And here we got the result label in which we got the timestamp. Now we can map this timestamp here in this field in Razorpay step, where it is here in the expiry timestamp. Okay, it is not showing the previous steps because we have added two more steps in between the steps. So now you have to refresh the connection with Razorpay. So just click on connected button, and from here keep this select existing connection option selected, and now click on save one more time and your connection will be refreshed. Okay, and now when you click here on this field, it will show you the previous steps, and from this last or seventh step, map the result label. All right, and if you want Razorpay to send a notification SMS to the customer, you can select this option. Or if you want Razorpay to send the email, you can select this option. But I want to send the email, so I'm selecting you send the email option. Okay, now we are done setting up this Razorpay step, and now you can check your you can just click on save and send test request to get the link of the payment. Just click on save and send test request here, and here you can see this is the response we have received, and in this response only you will find the link of the payment. So here is the customer ID, the description, and here is the short URL or the payment link. So let me show you the payment link here. So you can see a payment link is created for the order of the medicines. Now from here, person can pay you the amount. So here you can see it is showing the payment amount as 1 rupee, but actually we have put the amount here as 100 rupees. We have put the amount here as 100 rupees, but it is showing us the amount as where it is 1 rupees, because it has added this decimal point before these two zeros. So it will happen in every payment link, guys. So you have to add 2 more extra zeros to get the corrected amount here in your payment link. So what you can do, you can just put 2 extra zeros. You can just read here, to pass to pass value of 10 rupees, you have to put 1000 here with 2 more extra zeros. So I have just added 2 more extra zeros manually here. Now let me click on save and send test request one more time to get the correct payment link. Right, so we got another short URL here. Let me show you now. And here you can see we got the corrected amount as 100 rupees. Okay, so we are done creating the payment link. Now the last thing left was to send a confirmation email with this payment link to the customer on email. So just click here, And here I'm going to connect Gmail application to send that email to my customer. Now in the action event, select send email option, then click on connect. From this window, select add new connection, then click on connect with Gmail. And from this window, you have to select that Gmail account by which you want to send those emails. Okay, then click on continue from here. Alright, and you can see we are getting connected with Gmail. Here it is asking for the recipient's email address. So here I'm going to map the email address of my customer from the first step. Okay, I do not want to put anyone in CC or BCC, so I'm leaving these things blank. Here it is asking for the sender's name, so you can put the name of your your firm or your business's name. So I'm putting here the sender's name as Medicine Store only. Okay, or you can put the name of any person as well. Here it is asking for the email subject, so the subject of this email is for sending the confirmation. So here I'm writing order confirmed for medicines. Okay, here you can select the email content type. I'm selecting plain, and here you can type the email for your customer, so I'm typing the email here. So guys, I have written this standard email for all my customers. So here you can see I have written dear, and after dear I'm going to mention the name of my customer, and here I'm going to mention the order details, and here I'm going to place the link of the payment, and also in this attachment field I'm going to attach the invoice that I have created. So I'm going to use the previous data, the data from the previous steps. So after dear, I'm going to map the name of the customer from the first step. So when you map the details here like this, what will happen with every email, the labels are going to change and the new email will be delivered with the new data. So for the medicine's name, I'm going to use the first step only. For the quantity also. For the price, I'm going to use the lookup table step. For the total amount, I'm going to use the number formatter step. And for the payment link, I'm going to use the Razorpay step, where we have created the payment link. So this is the short URL. Okay. Here in the file name of the attachment, I'm going to use the Google Drive step, where we have created the shareable links. This is the file's name, and from the same Google Drive step, I'm going to map the PDF link of the file. Right, so we are done mapping the whole data. Now I can show you how the email is going to look like. By clicking on save and send test request, you can send a test email to this particular email address. So I have the access of this email address. Let me show you how the email is going to look like. So this is my demo customers inbox or test customers inbox, and here I am going to click on save and send test request, and you can see this is the response we have received here. Now let us check in the inbox if we got a new email, and we have received a new email from the medicine store, you can see, and the subject is order confirmed for medicines. And here you can see, dear demo person, thank you for your order. The order details are this: medicine's name aspirin, quantity 10, total amount is this. This is the payment link, and this is the same payment link that I have created, and here is the invoice, and you can see this is the same invoice in the PDF format that we have created and have here in the Google Drive. So this is how it is going to work, guys. So we are done setting up this automation. Now you don't have to do anything manually here. So we are done here, and you have to set up this automation only once. After that, you don't even have to touch this workflow. After that, as and when you are going to receive any order from your Google Forms, the invoice will be created automatically, and the same invoice along with the payment link will be delivered to your customer like this automatically. This workflow is going to run in the background. You don't have to do anything. Okay.
Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to add Google Form responses to Google Docs automatically. Suppose I have an Academy of Music where I collect feedback of each student in my Google Forms, and I want those form responses or feedbacks to be collected in Google Docs in real time. Now, the use case in this video is whenever a new response is added in Google Forms, it will automatically add data to Google Docs. But the issue here is there is no direct connection between Google Forms and Google Docs. That's why I'm going to use an integration and automation software, Pabbly Connect, which will help us to transfer the data from Google Forms to Google Docs. And the best part of using Pabbly Connect is it doesn't require any kind of coding skills or programming knowledge. Now, let's begin with an example. Okay, so this is my Google form and this is my Google Docs and this is the spreadsheet that is connected to this Google form. Now, I'm just filling a random detail of a student, that is Tia Mishra. Okay. Now, email tia@gmail.com. Feedback, I'm just going back to the sheet and just copying this feedback only. Okay. Okay, this is copied and again the suggestion thing also. So yeah, I'm just copying it and paste it over here. Okay, now I'm submitting just to check whether this student feedback Google Docs get the response or not. Now I'm just clicking on submit. Okay, the response has been recorded. Now going back to the student feedback Google Docs. Okay, so we have got the response and this was the simple idea to connect student feedback's Google form to student feedback's Google Docs. That means we have already connected. Now we are going to see how this works. So first of all, type pabbly.com in your browser, press enter. Okay, so this is the site of Pabbly. Here 3 options are visible. Just click on products and click on connect. That's how you will reach to the landing page of Pabbly Connect. Here again you got 3 options. Just click on sign in. As I have already made my account on Pabbly, that's why I have directly signed in. If you haven't made any account on Pabbly, you can just create your free account in 2 minutes. It is very easy to create. So I'm just clicking on connect access now here. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here we have to create a workflow just to continue our work. So I'm just clicking on this create workflow button and I'm naming my workflow Google Forms to Google Docs. Okay, so this is my name of workflow. Now I'm just clicking on create. After clicking on create, the window will appear. This window is known as trigger window. You might be thinking, what is this trigger or trigger window? So let me tell you, automation works on the concept of actions and triggers. Triggers is basically when this happens. Suppose in this use case, whenever a new response is added, that will be trigger. And action, do this. That means add the data to Google Docs. That will be our action. So that will be our further part. So just concentrate on this and choose a trigger app. Okay, so here I'm going to choose Google Forms. Okay, so Google Forms, and here you have to choose a trigger event. I'm choosing this. Now we have got the webhook URL. Now just we have to follow these steps and get connected to Google Forms. So I'm just going back to Google Forms. Okay, so this is my Google form and here I'm creating a new form. Okay, I'm titling it as Academy Feedback. Okay, here question, I'm just writing student name. Okay, and student email. And one last field, that is feedback. Okay, so I'm mentioning it as a required field and it is long answer text. Okay, so this is my form, and here I'm going on response and clicking on the sheet option, and here I'm just creating my spreadsheet that will be connected to my form. Okay, so I'm naming it as Academy Feedback. Okay, now click on create. Okay, so this is our spreadsheet and this is our form. Okay, now click on preview button. Wonderful. Now go back to Pabbly. Here we have to use this webhook URL. So I'm just copying it. And I'm going back to this Academy feedback spreadsheet. Here we are clicking on add-ons. Okay, so I'm clicking on Pabbly Connect webhooks initial setup. So I have already installed Pabbly Connect webhooks. In case if you haven't installed, just click on get add-ons. Google Workspace Marketplace will open up, and here you have to type Pabbly Connect webhooks. Just click on it. From here you have to install it. I have already installed, so I'm just closing it. Okay, now you have to refresh your sheet. Wonderful. Now if you have paid attention, let me clear this. The Academy form contains these three fields, and these three fields are also visible here. Okay, so first of all, now go this add-ons, connect Pabbly Connect webhooks, initial setup. Okay, here I'm going back to this Pabbly Connect just to remind you that we have copied this webhook URL. Okay, and I'm going here and I'm just pasting my webhook URL. Okay, here my last column is feedback. This is D, so I'm just making it as D. Okay, now this is my trigger column, and your last column would be your trigger column. Okay, now I'm just going back to this Academy feedback form, and I'm just filling it with a random student name, that is Anjali Mishra. Okay, and this is email anjali@gmail.com. Okay, and feedback, I'm just adding a random one. So yeah, I'm just adding it. It's just a random detail, so I'm just clicking on submit. Okay, and I'm going back to this Academy feedback spreadsheet, and here I'm going to send test. Before that, I'm going to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to click on this webhook response. Okay, here I'm going back here and just send test request. Okay. Okay, so test data sent successfully. Now I'm clicking on submit, and here we have got this data, and now I'm going back to Pabbly Connect, and here we have received the response. So this was the response and this was the feedback. This was just a random one. Okay, now we have already connected Google Forms with Pabbly. Now the next step is we have to connect Pabbly with Google Docs. So now I'm adding an action window. So this is action, as I've already explained to you. So for action app, I'm choosing Google Docs. Okay. Now for action event, I'm choosing append a paragraph to a document. Okay, now I'm clicking on connect, and here I have to connect my Google Docs with Pabbly. Okay, so this is my account, and here I'm just allowing the permission of Pabbly Connect Drive just to get connected with my account, and you can trust Pabbly, it is 100% safe. So click on allow. Okay, now here the document thing. So I'm just telling you these are the already documents that are available in my Google Docs. So how about if we create another document over here? Okay, so we can create a new one. So this is my new, and let's title it as Academy responses. Okay, so this is my new docs, and I'm going back to Pabbly Connect here and just refreshing it. Now, okay, so here is the new docs, that is Academy response. So I'm just clicking on it, and here we have to map the data. So first of all, just write how you want the information to be captured. So first of all, I'm writing it here as student name. Okay, here with the semicolon. Okay, and just map it over here. Okay, so now I'm adding /n just to make another line. Okay, just to shift the next sentence to another line. So here again I'm adding as student email colons. Okay, and you can map it from here. Again /n for another line. /n, and this time it is feedback. Okay, so here again, now feedback is this. Okay, now you can add some kind of separation by putting /n. Okay, so you can just add it, it's your choice. So yeah, we have done with this mapping, so we can click on save and send as request. Okay, now we have got the response, that is response received. I'm just saving the data. Okay, now I'm going back to this new docs, that is Academy responses, just to check whether we have got this same response over there or not. Okay, so we have got the response here. That means our integration or our connection between Google Forms and Google Docs is successful through Pabbly Connect. Okay, now I'm going back to Pabbly Connect, and this is all done. Let me minimize this. Okay, so these are two steps. First, we have connected Google Forms with Pabbly in this way, and we have got the response. We have captured the webhook response. After that, we have connected Pabbly to Google Docs. This is how we get connected from Pabbly to Google Docs, and this created integration between Google Forms and Google Docs. So I hope you all learned a lot about this video, about this concept.
In this video, we are going to see how to auto-generate articles using artificial intelligence. So let's say you have got certain titles which are the part of your Google Sheet or any other spreadsheet. And every time a new title is added there, you want that with that title, automatically an article should be generated. The same can be done using OpenAI, which is an artificial intelligence and deployment company and helps you efficiently in creating content. And then you want that a document should be created and under the name of the same title, and this particular information, the article that you have just received, should become a part of that document. How can you do this? So for this, you will have to integrate these three applications, and the same can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here, your trigger application would be Google Sheets and your action applications would be OpenAI and Google Doc. Now, how can you set up this entire thing and integrate the applications and automate the entire process? To understand that, let me take you to my screen.
So in this video, I'm going to show you how to auto-generate articles using artificial intelligence, and here we are using OpenAI. So let's say that I have this Google Sheet, the name is OpenAI Articles. So I have got certain titles and the release date. Every time the sheet is updated with a new title for a different article, automatically my objective is that a document should be created under the same name and then an article should be a part of it. So let me show you the Google Doc. So this is my document, and here you can see that automatically the entire article has been captured. Now how can you do this? To understand this, let's begin. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. Now here on the right hand side, we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you already have an account, simply sign in. If you do not have an account with us, sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So let's click on sign in, and now here we have reached the all applications page. Let's click on access now for Pabbly Connect. As we do that, here we have reached the dashboard of this application. Here on the right hand side, you can see a tab, Create Workflow. Let's click on this. And a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now here my objective is to auto-generate articles using artificial intelligence. So this is how I'm going to name my workflow. Let's click on Create. As we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two very important events. One is trigger and another one is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this. Basically, action is the response of our trigger. Now here, the application that we are going to choose is Google Sheets. Why? Because as I had shown you, I have got different titles there with which I have to create articles. So here it would be new or updated spreadsheet row. This trigger event is the event that will make my workflow start. Now here you can see that we have received a webhook URL. This URL is going to act as a bridge for connecting the two applications, Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, so that Pabbly Connect can have access to the information which is there on Google Sheets. Now, how am I supposed to set up this connection? To understand that, first I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to take you to the sheet that I have created. This is the Google Sheet that I have created. It is OpenAI articles. It has got two column fields, titles for articles and release date. You can see the sheet name as sheet 1. Now, to set up the connection, we are going to go to extensions, and then we are going to go to add-ons, get add-ons. As soon as we are here, we have reached Google Workspace Marketplace. Here we have to look for the application Pabbly Connect webhooks. Let's click on this, and you can see that this particular application is already installed on my system. So make sure that it is there. Once done, let's close this window, go back to extensions, and you would be able to find Pabbly Connect webhooks here. So once you're here, you'll go to initial setup. Now here you can see that it has automatically captured the name of the sheet. And here I'm going to paste the URL that we have just copied, and now the trigger column. So this trigger column is the final data column on which the data is added. Here you can see in this particular sheet it is B. So I have written B. Let's click on send test, and here you can see that the data has been sent successfully. Now let's click on submit, and I'm going to close this. Go to extensions, again go to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and make sure that you have checked on send on event. So once this is done, let's go back to Pabbly Connect, and as I scroll down here, you can see that we have received the response. We have received the column titles for articles. This is your title, then the release date, spreadsheet name, spreadsheet ID. So once you have received this, now my next objective is with this article, with this title, an article should be created through OpenAI. So now I'm going to choose my next application as OpenAI. Let's click on this. The action event here is to generate content. Let's click on connect. Here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the OpenAI account. To set up this connection, I'm going to click on add new connection. I have already logged into my OpenAI account, and here I have to provide the token. How will we get this token? We have to go to this hyperlink. As we click on this, here you can see that this is the secret key, basically token. I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste it over here and save. So once done, here Pabbly Connect is connected with OpenAI. And now we have to fill in the information, select AI model, prompt, maximum token, select sampling time, etc. To understand the information that we need here, first I'm going to take you to my OpenAI page. This is my OpenAI website. You can reach here by typing openai.com. OpenAI is a well-known application for the creation of the GPT-3 model, which is a powerful deep learning model available for producing human-like texts. So here I'm going to go to API and then I'm going to click on login. So here we are. It is a very special application as it is not restricted to one particular use case. It provides a general purpose interface so the user can try any task in the English language. Here we are going to go to playground and now I'm going to show you some magic here. So what if I write an article on the title, and here I'm writing the title is Life is a Bouquet of Roses, and I want that an article should be written on this particular title. I click on submit. So here you can see that it has automatically started to write an article which is exactly like human text. Now this is definitely interesting. The length of the article depends on the tokens that you have selected. To understand this, I'm going to take you to the settings part. So here we have got the mode, then we have got the model. Again here we have selected text relevancy 002. Why? Because this is the most capable model in the GPT-3 series. And then the temperature. Temperature basically controls randomness. As the temperature approaches 0, the model will become deterministic and repetitive. So if you do not want repetition, you have to go towards 1. The maximum length. Now here it has given me a short article because I have selected the maximum length of my article as 256 tokens. You can change it and you can move up to 4,000 tokens. Then the stop sequence, this is very important. Stop sequence is where the API will stop generating further tokens. So you have to put a stop sequence. Let's say that it is /# and I'm going to click on add. Now this is stop P, then we have frequency penalty which decreases the model's likelihood to repeat the same line, and then we have presence penalty which increases the model's likelihood to talk about new topics. These are the default settings. So I'm going to go ahead with the same. Best of, again it generates multiple completions server side and displays only the best. So you can go up to 10. Here I'm going to go for top 3. And once done, I'm also going to show you one very important thing, which is view code. Let's click on this. Here you can see this is the prompt. Prompt is basically anything which is written before the response that we have received till we click on submit. So this is basically your prompt. Now that we have understood this entire thing, going back to Pabbly Connect, here I'm going to write the prompt, which is write an article on the title, and then my title here is, I'm going to map this information. Mapping means that I already have this information through the previous steps. Now I'm just going to retrieve it. So going here, this is the title for the article. Let's click on this. Once done, maximum tokens. So here we can say that I wish to have maximum tokens as 300. So going back here, I'm going to write 300. Now the sampling type. So I'm going to go for temperature sampling. We have two options, temperature and nucleus sampling. Then the sampling value. So this sampling value, presence penalty and frequency penalty. If you do not write anything, it will take the default value, which is 0.70 and 0. I'm going to go ahead with this. And the stop sequence that we had selected there was /##. And now best of 3. Let's click on save and send test request. As soon as we do that, here we can see that we have received the API response, and this is the text, basically my article. So here you have all the 6 reasons, and this is wonderful, right? Now what is my next objective? That a document should be created. So my next application is Google Docs. Let's go here, and the action event would be, first I wish to create a blank document. Let's click on connect. And again, I'm going to go to add new connection as Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Google Docs account. Let's click on connect with Google Docs. I have already logged in. Let's click on the account that we have to choose. And here we have to click on continue to provide the authorization success. So here you can see that the authorization has been successful. Now the document name. So here I wish to create a document under the name of the title of my article. So going back to step 1, this is the article's title. Now let's click on save and send test request. As soon as we have done that, here we have received the API response, and here you can see that this is the title. And if I take you down, here you can see that we also have received the document ID. Now I'm going to add another action step and going to choose the same application, which is Google Docs. Once selected, my objective this time is to append a paragraph to a document. Let's click on connect, and I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection here. Once done, here I'm going to toggle this towards the right so that I can map the information, delete this, and here I have to map the document ID that we have just received. So let's go to step 3, and here I'm going to go down, and this is my document ID at last. Now the inserted text. So what text do I want? So first I want the title, for which I'm going to go to step 1, and then once my title is there, then I wish to have the text that I have just received through OpenAI. So let's click on OpenAI, go to text, and once done, I'm going to click on save and send test request. Here you can see that this is a document ID and it is saying that the process is a success. Now this entire process is a success or not, to understand that, let me take you to the Google Docs. I'm going to refresh this page once. As soon as I do that, here you can see that this document with the name of the title has been created. Let's click on this. And as soon as I do that, here you can see that the entire article is right in front of you, which basically means that this entire process is a success. Now we also need to check it in real time. For that, I'm going to take you back to Google Sheets. And here I'm going to write another title, which is Success is Not a Game of Chance. So this is the article's name. So once written, what is the release date? Let's say it is 12/10/2022. Now as soon as this new information is a part of my Google Sheet, what should happen? First of all, a document should be created and then an article should become a part of it. So going back to documents, and here you can see that a document has been created under the name Success is Not a Game of Chance, and as I click on this, this is my article. Now isn't that fantabulous? So basically this means that this entire integration process is a success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand exactly what we have done. So here my first application was Google Sheet, the trigger application, and the event was new or updated spreadsheet row. Then my action application was OpenAI, where I had selected generate content. And finally, my action application was Google Docs, where first I had created a blank document and then I had appended a paragraph to a document. I hope this is very much clear to you.
Hello everyone. So in this video, we will learn how to create and send bulk certificates via email. So imagine this, you are conducting a music competition and you have the database of the participants in Google Sheets. You have their names, email, and all those details. So you want to send a congratulatory certificates to these participants on email. So here you have two choices. First choice is you copy all the details of the participants from Google Sheets, sort them out individually, create a certificate from Google Docs, compose an email, upload the certificate, and manually send it on email. So the problem with this approach is it's actually very repetitive and tiresome, considering you have many participants. So I would suggest that you bring in some automation so that whenever a new data is added in Google Sheets, it will automatically create a certificates in Google Doc and send it on email. So in this video, we will be using Pabbly Connect to integrate Google Sheets, Google Doc, and Gmail. The best part of using Pabbly Connect is there is no need for coding skills or programming knowledge. It can be done easily. Let me show you on my screen. Okay, so we will begin with a small example. So this is my Google Sheet. It has been titled Drawing Competition. And these are the database of my students. These are my students. All of them have been arranged alphabetically. For example, we have a person called as Amy Trisha. Then we have Castleton, Darius, Elon Musk, Jan Wellington. And at the last, we have Zach Seidner. So basically, these are the names, okay, in the name column. Then we have the email as well as the roll number. So the idea is that these people will be getting a certificate for participating in the drawing competition. So let me show you the emails and the certificates that they have received. So first of all, I will be showing you the email or the certificate that Amy Trisha has received. I'll be showing you then the email as well as the certificate that Darius has received. And of course, at the last, we have Zach Seidner,
designer, so he also has received a certificate. Okay, so it will be conclusive that all of them has received a certificate. So let me just take you to their email profile. Okay, so as you can see, this is the certificate that Amy has received. Okay, hello Amy Trisha, this is the certificate of participation. So let's explore the certificate that she has received. So this is the PDF that she has received, and it is something that I have made from automation using Google Docs. So certificate for drawing competition, this is to certify that Amy Trisha with roll number 1 of class 12th has participated in a drawing competition dated on 3/4/2021. He or she has secured the rank in the competition. Congratulations, this is the date and this is the name of the director, Tim. Okay, so similarly, we have a guy called as Darius. So he has also received the certificate. So let's explore the certificate. Okay, so this is the certificate that Darius has received. Okay, and at the last place, okay, as I mentioned before, we have a guy in the last place called as Zach Sagner. So this is the certificate that Zach has received. So let's explore that. Okay, so basically this is the certificate that Zach has received, certificate for drawing competition, Zach Sagner with roll number 19 of class 12th. Okay, so basically this is the certificate that Zach has also received. So the idea is very simple. We have the database of the students, and these students have participated in some kind of event and they have received a certificate. So these certificates were built with the help of Google Docs. Okay, so to begin the actual process, first of all, I'm going to remove this. Okay. In the new tab, just type Pabbly Connect, pabbly.com. Okay, so this is the site where we want to go, pabbly.com. Now pabbly.com has an app called as Pabbly Connect. So using Pabbly Connect, we are going to integrate Google Sheets, Google Docs, and Gmail. So let me just click on sign in. Okay, so now your obvious question is why are we working in incognito mode? So the answer is very simple. If you have Google Sheets and if you have multiple Gmail accounts, there will be trouble with authentication. So to avoid authentication issues, it is always advisable, if you have multiple Gmail accounts and if you are going to work with Google Sheets, always work on incognito mode. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. As you can see, I already have made an account in Pabbly Connect. You can also build your own free account in just 2 minutes. So let me just scroll down and here you will find Connect. Just click on Access now. Okay, so at the top right corner, you will find a button, Create Workflow. Click this, a dialog box appears in front of you. It is asking you to give a name to this workflow. I'm going to give it as Google Sheets to Google Docs to Gmail. Okay, so let me just click on Create. Okay, so when you click on create, a window appears in front of you. This is called as the trigger window. So in the choose app, how about we make it as schedule? So the reason we are using schedule is basically we want to schedule the time at which we will be sending the certificates, basically our email. So here we have two choices, one for run scenario as well as the unit as well as the value. Okay, so we have to fill 3 blanks. Now coming to the run scenario, we obviously want to send the emails and the certificates only once. Okay, so it will be awkward if we keep on sending at regular intervals or every day. So let's keep it as once. Okay, now coming to the most important part, the date. So I want to send the certificates today. So I have mentioned the date as it's already mentioning the date as 3rd of April 2021. So this is because today is 3rd of April 2021. Okay, now coming to the time. Now this is a bit tricky. So as you can see, this time it is mentioning in UTC format. Okay, I repeat again, the time is mentioning in UTC format. So your obvious question is, what is UTC format? So UTC basically means Universal Coordinated Time. Now we have a very fixed UTC format to follow. Now this is because many people are working from many different time zones. For example, I am working from Indian Standard Time. I'm working from India, so I'm following Indian Standard Time. Now at present we have at 3. Okay, at present we have at 1 p.m. Okay, the time is here is 1 p.m. So what I'm going to do here is I want to send the certificates, for example, at 2 p.m. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to a site called as a UTC to IST converter. There are many sites to check for UTC to IST converter, and since I want to send the email at 2 p.m. or okay, how about 2:30 p.m. Okay, so it is showing the UTC at 9 a.m. Okay, so as you can see, I have mentioned the time, the Indian Standard Time as 2:30 p.m. Okay, now it is around 1:10 p.m. So I want to send it after 1 hour 20 minutes later. So now it is showing the UTC at 9 a.m. Okay, so as you can see, there is a time delay. There is actually a time difference between UTC and IST, and this time difference is around 5 hours 30 minutes or something. Now, if you're from different time zone, you can get it converted accordingly by using a different website. All you have to do in your browser, just type your standard time, your country standard time, and conversion to UTC. Okay, it's that easy. Now, since I want to send the certificates as well as the emails at 2:30 p.m. I have to mention the UTC at 9 a.m. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is here in the Pabbly, I'm just going to mention this as 9. Okay, 09. I'm sorry. First of all, let me change this 09 and 00. So 9 a.m. So basically, it will send the message at 9 a.m. So it's not 9 a.m. in Indian Standard Time, it is in UTC time. So basically, it will be sending the message or the email at 2:30 p.m. Okay, so let me just click on save. Okay, so we have sorted the issue with that time. Now we have to deal with the data. Now, as you may see, this is my newly created Google Sheet, and I have titled it as a music competition for class 2nd. And these are the columns we have. Of course, this is the same roll number column, the name, the email, as well as the rank. So I have added one additional column that is for the rank, and these people have received different ranks. For example, Amy Trisha is ranking 3rd, and Zach Sinner is ranking 1st. So basically, according to their singing skills, they have been ranked according to their, they have given different ranks. Okay, so Darius is ranked 12th. Okay, so basically, we will be adding the ranks in the certificates this time. Earlier, we had just given a certificate according for their participation. This time, we will be also adding the ranks. So first of all, we have to send all this data to Pabbly Connect. Okay, so to do that, first of all, let me just introduce you to another window. So this window is called as the action window. So here in the Choose app, how about we make it as Google Sheets? Google Sheets, because we want to get the data from Google Sheets, that is why. Now in the action event, how about we make it as get row? Okay, so get row is an action event. If you want more action events according to your choice, you can make a request to our team at admin@pabbly.com to custom build an action event for you. Let me just click on connect with Google Sheets. In the new credentials, connect with Google Sheets. Okay, so let me just click on this account. So basically, this is the account where this particular Google Sheet is present. So I'm selecting this one. Okay, so it is asking me to confirm my choice. Let me just click on allow. Okay, so it is showing the authorization is successful. Just press OK. So as you can see, a set of blanks has appeared in front of you. Now the title of the sheet is Music Competition for Class 2nd. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click here, and as you can see, these are all the Google Sheets that is present in my account. So I'm selecting this one because we want to get the data from this sheet. So Music Class Competition Class 2nd. Okay, so we have selected it. Now coming to the most important part, the range. So to explain you the range, let me just take you to my Google Sheet. So basically, we want to send the data from this cell to this cell. Okay, the whole diagonal. Okay, so we want to send the data from this cell to this cell. So basically, it will cover all the cells. So that's the idea. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all these cells up to here. Okay, so as you can see, we have shown, it is showing the address that is A2 to D20. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy this and I'm just going to paste it here. This is our range. So when I click on save and send test request, it will fetch all this data into Pabbly Connect. So let me just show you. Let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so as you can see, we have whole data. So we have the first person, that is Amy Trisha. Okay, so as you can see, this is Amy Trisha, her email as well as the rank. So Amy Trisha, her email and her rank. And then we have Castiel Dean, Castiel Dean's email and the rank he has got. So this is Castiel Dean, his roll number, his email as well as the rank. Now let's just scroll down up to the last. So the last person is Zach Seidner. Okay, so Zach Seidner. Okay, so this is the name Zach Seidner. This is his email and this is the rank that he has got, and he's the 19th roll number. Okay, so basically we have got all the data. Now there is some issue. We have to sort out each data individually. We basically have to work on each data individually. For example, we have the whole data from Google Sheet. So in case if we want to work on only one person called as Amy Trisha, we have to apply rules or conditions for only one person, that is Amy Trisha. So in that case, we have to bring in the iterator. So before we bring in the iterator, we have to condense all this data into an array. Okay, so basically what we are going to do here is, in simple terms, we just want the data of this one row. Okay, at present we have the whole data. Okay, so we have to work on one person. That is why we are going to work with each row individually. At present we have the whole data. Okay, this whole data, at present we have the whole data. We only want at present only one single row. Okay, so to get let's just go to Pabbly Connect. Okay, and let me just toggle this to the left. Okay, and let me just click on save and send test request once again. Okay, so this time we have the response in a very condensed, clumsy format. So we have the whole data again. Okay, so we have the whole data here again, but this time it is in a very clumsy format. So we are going to sort out each data individually. Basically, we will be sorting out each rows individually. Okay, so first row will be sorted out. So this can be done using the iterator. So let me introduce you iterator. Okay, so in the choose app, let's type iterator. Okay, iterator it is. Now in the choose array, it is already showing it as value. So basically we don't have to do anything. Okay, so let me just click on save and send test request and you will understand it better. Okay, so as you can see, this is the first iteration. So in the first iteration, we have the first person, that is Amy Trisha. This is because Amy Trisha is the first iteration. Okay, now in the second iteration, it will show the data of Castiel Dean. Similarly, the third iteration, it will be Darius, fourth is Elon Musk, and it will continue up to Zach Seidner till the loop completely finishes off. Okay, so to end the iteration, it has to reach up to Zach Seidner. At present, we have the data of Amy Trisha. Excellent. That's what we wanted. Now, the problem with this data is it's full data. I mean, we have the full data of Amy Trisha. We have the name, email, the rank, as well as the row number. So basically, we have the whole data of this whole row. Okay. Now we want to sort out each cell individually. For example, we want the data of roll number as 1, the name as Amy Trisha, the email as Amy, and the rest of them, and as well as the rank, that is third. So we want each cell individually. Now what we are going to do here is, I'm just going to introduce you to JSON extractor. So let me just click on JSON extractor. Okay, so now in the action event, how about we make it as extract JSON data. Okay, so let me just click on connect with JSON extractor. Okay, so in the data, we are just going to click on this button. So this is basically your mapping button. So we have got the data here and we have mapped it. Okay, so basically when I click on save and send test request, it will isolate all this data. So here we have the data as 1. Okay, so this was the initial data, combined data. Now we have individual data, that is the roll number as 1, the name as Amy Trisha. This is the data, Amy 26064@gmail, and then we have the rank, that is third. Okay, so basically using this whole data, we are going to create a certificate. Okay, so to create a certificate, we will be using Google Docs. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to show you my Google Docs. So this is the default template. Okay, so here I'm going to make some changes. How about we change the color as green or red? Okay, so how about we go with green. Certificate for music competition. Okay, so let's bring it to the middle. Okay, so this is to certify that here we have to make some changes. He has secured the rank in this competition. Congratulations. This is the date and this is the director, that is John. Okay, so basically we are going to use this particular template to create a certificate. Okay, so to do that, let me just click on this button so that we can introduce another action window. And here we are going to mention Google Docs. Google Docs. Okay, Google Docs it is. Now in the action event, how about we make it as create document from template. So basically using this template, we are going to create a document or a certificate. That is why we have selected the action event as create document from template. Let me just click on connect with Google Docs. In the new credentials, let me just click on connect with Google Docs. Okay, so as you can see, this particular Google Docs is present in this account. So I'm selecting this one. Okay, so now Pabbly Connect is demanding access. So before I click on allow, let me tell you something. Pabbly Connect doesn't take any chances with your data. Your data is 100% safe and secure with us. Okay, so on the basis of that trust, just press allow. Okay, so it is showing the authorization is successful. Just press OK. Okay, so as you can see in here, it is already showing music competition certificate. So basically this is the title, this is not the title, this is the name of the certificate, music competition certificate. Okay, so it is already showing. Okay, so these are all the certificates that is present in my Google Docs. Okay, and this is the certificate from, this is the template from which we are going to create a certificate, music competition certificate. Now we have to fix some things, that is new documents name as well as new documents location. We will deal with that later. So before we deal with all these, let me introduce you to the concept of dynamic tags. So what I'm going to do here is, this is to certify. Here the name of the person will come. In our case, the first person is Amy. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to introduce dynamic tags. So basically all you have to do, and all you have to enter two pairs of curly brackets, one enclosed in the other. So in the curly brackets, I'm just going to type in the name. Okay, so this is the name. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, next I'm just going to click on refresh. As you can see, at present we only have three blanks. Now when I click on refresh, I can expect to find one additional blank, that is name. So let me just click on refresh. Okay, so as you can see, we do have one additional blank, that is the name. Okay, so this is because we have introduced dynamic tags, and now the name field is now present here. Okay, now we also have to make more changes. This is to certify Amy Trisha, or the name has from. Okay, here I'm going to mention class, again enter a pair of curly brackets, and here I'm going to enter class. Okay, before we do that, okay, so with roll number, okay, and I'm just going to type roll number. Okay, so this is how it will show. This is to certify that will come here. This is to certify that I have to remove this. Okay, this is to certify that Amy Trisha from class 12th with roll number this has participated in music competition dated. Okay, so I think the first line is okay. So as you can see, we have introduced three dynamic tags: the name, the class, as well as the roll number. So let us explore. After clicking on refresh, do we have the respective blanks for them? So I have refreshed it. Yes, we do have the respective blanks, that is the name, the class, as well as the roll number. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going back here. She has secured rank, or here I think we should enter one more dynamic tag for the rank. Okay, and rank it is. Okay, rank, I'm sorry, in this competition. Congratulations, she has secured rank in this competition. So when I go back to Pabbly Connect and when I refresh this, I can expect to find one more additional field of that rank. Okay, so yeah, we do have the rank field, and there is something else. Let me just go back, and here we have to mention the current date, the day at which this particular certificate was awarded. So I'm just going to mention a tag for the date. Okay, so date. So unfortunately John has come down, so I'm just going to scroll him to here. Okay, so this is the basic idea. So this is how it would look. Okay, so at present, as the Amy's rank is 3rd, okay, and her roll number is 1. This is to certify that Amy Trisha from class 2nd with roll number 1 has participated in the music competition, that is 11th of March 2021. She has secured, what was the rank? It was the 3rd rank. Okay, she has secured 3rd rank in this competition. Congratulations. And this is the date. Here the current date will come, where current date basically means today's date. So, and this is the director, basically that is John. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to Pabbly Connect. Okay, and basically we have to again just click on refresh so that we can find the field called as the date. So I have refreshed this. Okay, name, class, roll number, rank, as well as the date. Okay, so we are done. Now before we start mapping, there is something else you should know. Now we have to figure out where this particular certificate will be stored. Okay, so basically the idea is very simple. Once the certificate is created, it will be stored somewhere. Now the place I'm going to store is my Google Drive, and from Google Drive we will be sharing the certificate on Gmail. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to show you my Google Drive. So this is my Google Drive, and these are all the folders that is present in my Google Drive. And since Pabbly Connect at this point is integrated with my Gmail account, so it is already showing all the Google Drives, all the folders that is present in my Google Drive. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, is I'm just going to create a folder for my certificate. So first I'm going to create a folder. I'm sorry, folder it is, and the name of the folder will be music competition certificates. Okay, so this will be a newly created folder. So let me just click on create. Okay, so our folder has been created, music competition certificate. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going back to Pabbly Connect and I'm going to refresh this. So when I click on refresh, I can expect to find this newly created folder in the drop down. So this is the folder music competition certificates, and what I'm going to do here is, now before we start mapping in the details, we have to assign a name. So let me just show you what is the name. So as you can see, once the certificate will be created, okay, so once the certificate will be created, it should have an individual unique name. For example, this is the certificates that the dancers, the drawing competition, the students who have participated in the drawing competition had received: Sheldon Cooper, Sam Matterhorn, Ricky Martin. Okay, so basically they all have a very unique name. Now what we are going to do here is, this is basically the name. So here I'm just going to mention the name as well as the roll number. So it will be very unique because no two people will have the same name as well as the roll number. So I'm just going to click on JSON extractor, and here I'm just going to type the map in the name. So this is the name, enter a dash, and here I'm also going to mention the roll number. So the roll number is 1. Okay, so basically the idea is very simple. From this particular template, okay, so this is the template, okay, we will be creating a certificate, and the name of the certificate will be the person we will be sending, that is Amy Trisha, as well as the roll number, and the certificate will be, the newly created certificate will be stored here. So let's start mapping. So here we will be mapping in the name. So let me just click here, and this is the data that we have received, and we have mapped the name. Okay, so basically the name Amy Trisha will come here. Okay, Amy Trisha will come here, and the class, so we don't have any data regarding the class, but we do know that the class is of class second. So I'm just going to mention this as second. Okay, easy. Now this thing will remain static, it won't change, so we don't have anything to do, so just keep it as the static way, that is second. Now coming to the roll number, now this is something that will keep on changing. So the roll number is 1. Now the rank that Amy has received is 3rd. We have mapped it. Okay, I forgot, we actually have to map in the date. Now the date is the current date. Okay, so the today's date is 3rd of April 2021. So what I'm going to do here is, we are going to introduce you to another action window so that we can figure out our date. So here we are going to choose date time formatter. So date time formatter it is. Now in the action event, how about we make it as current date. Okay, so basically when I click on save and send test request, when I click on connect with date time formatter, it will show the date. So let me just click on connect with date time formatter. Okay, so it is asking me the basic format. So the format I want, the date is in this one. Okay, so this will look cool, that is the human readable format, that is day, month and year. Now do we need to include time in the response? No, because if we include time here, it would look really clumsy. For example, if we imagine this, if we have this kind of date here, it will look really bad, not for the certificate. Okay, in the certificates we usually have the date, the day, month and year format. So I'm just keeping it as day, month and year format, and I'm not going to include the time. So let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so as you can see, we do have the date, that is 3rd of April 2021. So basically we are going to map this particular detail here. Okay, so before we do that, we must require that this data should come in this window. So that is why I'm just going to click on connect with Google Drive, Google Doc, and let me just click on save. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, next I'm just going to click on this button. Okay, click on this last accordion. Okay, so this last accordion is for date time formatter, and I have clicked on the date. So we have mapped it. So when I click on save and send test request, I can expect to find a new certificate in this particular folder, that is in my Google Drive. Okay, so let me do that. Let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so the API response is showing that the certificate has been created. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take you to my drive, and this is the folder where I can expect to find the certificate. So before we go to the certificate, and let me just explain you what we have done here. Okay, so this is the template that we have used to create the certificate. Okay, and these are the details that we have mapped it. So basically all the details will be entered here: the name, the class, the roll number, the rank, and the date. Okay, and then we have the location. So basically the location is my Google Drive. So in this particular location it will come here, and of course we have the name. So the name of the newly created certificate will be based on the unique names of the student as well as their roll number. So this combination will ensure that we have a perfect name, a perfectly unique name for our certificates. Okay, so let me just show you the certificate. So this is the folder. Okay, so this is the folder and this is the certificate. Okay, so this is to certify that Amy Trisha from class second with roll number 1 has participated in a music competition dated this. She has secured third rank. Okay, so as you can see, this time we have also introduced the rank in this competition. Congratulations, this is the date and this is the name of the director, John. So basically we will be sending this particular certificate as a PDF to Trisha, Amy Trisha. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is, before we go to Pabbly Connect, there is something I need to show you. As you can see here, it is showing private only to me. So Amy Trisha can't really access this certificate at this point. So we have to work on that. Now let me go to Pabbly Connect. Okay, let me just scroll down and let me just introduce you to one more window. So this window we will be using Google Drive. Okay, so your obvious question is, why Google Drive? So it is actually very simple. Since this particular certificate is stored in my Google Drive, so we will be using Google Drive to share my certificate. So in the action event, how about we just make it as share a file with anyone? So as I mentioned before, at present the status of the certificate is private only to me. Okay, so we need to change that. Now let me just click on connect with Google Drive. In the new credentials, let me just click on connect with Google Drive. Okay, so it is asking me the account. So this particular Google Drive is present in this account. I'm selecting this. You already know the drill, so let me just click on allow. Okay, so it is showing the authorization is successful. Just press OK. Okay, so here it is showing a very static ID, that is Amy Trisha 1. Okay, so basically it has already captured the detail, but there is one problem. This is a very static ID, and these are the rest of the folders as well as the certificates that is present. Now the problem is the name Amy Trisha as well as the roll number will keep on changing. Okay, this is something very dynamic, so we have to introduce dynamic thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to toggle this to the right. Okay, and this is basically the file ID that has been created. So basically we have to input this particular detail here. Okay, so already it is showing the same detail here, but we have to ensure that this one should be the dynamic one. So I'm just going to erase this and click on the mapping button. Okay, and here we have the file ID. So this is the file ID we want and we have mapped it. Excellent. So all I have to do is just click on save and send test request. Now there is some magic I'm going to show you. So as you can see, at present we have private only to me. I have already shown you, and when I click on save and send test request, it will show you something different. Okay, so the API response is showing anyone with the link. Okay, excellent. So let me just go here. Okay, so as you can see, the icon has changed. Now it is showing anyone with the link. So basically, if anyone has the link of this particular file, he or she can access this file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on this plus button, and using Gmail, we are going to send this. So Gmail it is. Okay, now in the action event, how about we make it as send an email? So let me just click on connect with Gmail. In the new credentials, connect with Gmail. Okay, so I will be using this account to send my mails. So let me just click on allow. Okay, so it is showing the authorization is successful. Just press OK. Okay, so as you can see, a set of blanks has appeared in front of you. The purpose of these blanks is very simple. We are going to compose a message from the data that we have received from Google Sheets and Google Docs directly from Pabbly Connect. So let's start mapping. So the recipient name, okay, so this is something that we are going to get from the fourth accordion. So the name is Amy Trisha. Okay, now coming to the recipient email. So again, we are going to use the fourth accordion, the data from the fourth accordion. So this is the email. Now coming to the name. So my name, no, this time the name of the school will come. Okay, that would look more professional. So St. Xavier. So this is the school name. or the institute name which has conducted the musical competition, and from email here my email will come, aaronmanuel1991@gmail.com. Okay, now coming to the email subject, certificate for music competition. Okay, so this is the email subject and this is the email message. Hello, and I'm going to enter the details in the next line. So this is the JSON. Hello Amy Trisha, this is your certificate for the music competition that you have participated. Okay, and here we are going to map in the link. So the link is this one, from we will get from the last accordion, the 7th. Okay, so this is the link. This is the link. So the link that we want to share is this one. Okay, res2 export link application PDF. So this is the link that we want to share and we have mapped it. Okay, so basically Amy Trisha will be getting the first message. Okay, this is your certificate for the music competition that you have participated. Okay, hello Amy Trisha, this is the certificate for the music competition that you have participated. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on save and send test request. Let me do that. Okay, so it is showing the message has been sent, the email has been sent. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take you to my the emails of Amy Trisha. So this is the email of Amy Trisha. So let me just go back and let's check whether she has received any email. So let me just take you to inbox directly and let me just refresh this. Okay, so this is the email that she has received. Hello Amy Trisha, this is your certificate for music competition that you have participated. So let's explore. Okay, so this is the email, this is the PDF of the certificate for music competition. This is to certify that Amy Trisha from class 12 with roll number 1 has participated in a music competition dated 11th of March 2021. She has secured 3rd rank in this competition. Congratulations. And this is the date and this is the director's name, that is John. Okay, excellent. So basically Amy Trisha has now got the certificate. Okay, so now Amy has got the certificate. So your obvious question is, what about the rest of them? Well, the rest of them, so these are the details of the rest of them. So let me just take you back to my Google Sheet. So the rest of them will be getting the message at the scheduled time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you the scheduled time. So they will be receiving the messages or the emails at 9 a.m. So as we have made, so it is around 2:30 p.m. So they will be getting around half an hour from now. Okay, half an hour from now. So right now it's around 2 p.m. So after half an hour they will be getting all the messages. So basically at this point we have successfully integrated Google Sheets, Google Doc and Gmail with help of Pabbly Connect. Now what I'm going to do here is, before I end this video, and let me just minimize all these windows and let me just explain you the whole mechanism in a nutshell. So I'm minimizing all my action windows. Okay, I have also minimized my trigger window. Okay, so basically this is the whole process in a nutshell. First you integrated, first you actually bought the schedule app so that you can schedule an event. Okay, so basically we have scheduled the time at that is 9 a.m. So basically it is around 2:30 p.m. according Indian Standard Time. The UTC is 9 a.m. Okay, then we have the Google Sheet. We basically integrated Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect, and using this action window we have extracted all the data from Google Sheets, and then we have run the iterator. So basically the idea of the iterator is it has sorted out all the data of the Google Sheets individually, all the rows data individually, and then we have run the action, then we have run the JSON extractor so that we can individually extract the row data. Okay, so we have each cell data now, Amy, and this is basically the email and this is basically the rank. Okay, so basically we have done that, and then we have used the Google Docs to create a template. Basically we have used the Google Docs to create a certificate from a template in Google Docs. Okay, and then you have stored this particular certificate in Google Drive, and from Google Drive you have shared this file, and you have used the Gmail to send this file to the person, to the respective person. Okay, so that was all. So obviously you have seen the certificates of Amy Trisha. So I'm going to show you the certificate that the third person, that is Terrace, has received. So this is the certificate that Terrace has received, certificate for music competition. This is to certify Terrace Mackey from class 2 with roll number 3 has participated in a music competition. He or she has secured 12th rank. Okay, so let's have a look what the certificate that Zach Sidner has received. So this is the certificate that Zach Sidner has received. And okay, so this is to certify that Zach Sidner from class 2 with roll number 19 had participated in music competition. She has secured the first rank, okay, in the competition. Congratulations. Excellent. So our integration is working absolutely fine. We have successfully integrated Google Sheets, Google Docs, and Gmail with help of Pabbly Connect.
So in this video, we will learn how to create invoice using Google Forms and Google Docs. Now suppose guys, you have created an online order form using Google Form. And you want, whenever a customer fills the form and places a new order, you want to create an invoice of the same order automatically. So guys, using Pabbly Connect, you can set up this automation. So the trigger of this automation will be receiving a new order on Google Forms, and the action will be creating an invoice in Google Docs for the same order. Now how you can set up this amazing automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen. So first of all, we will go to a browser and search for pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So I will sign into my own Pabbly Connect account. And after signing in, we will reach to this all apps page of Pabbly. Here we just have to click on access now below Pabbly Connect. And now we can see that we have reached to Pabbly Connect's dashboard. So in this dashboard, click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Google Forms to Google Docs. And then just click on create. Now we can see that a workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is first we have to get the details or the data of form submission from Google Forms in Pabbly Connect. Now suppose guys, using Google Form, I have created an order form and I have placed or shared that form with all of my clients and customers. So whenever a user wants to order some product from my business, just take example of a cake business, like I own a cake business, and for that to receive orders from my customer, I have created a Google form. So the customer can enter their details, their requirement in that form and submits the form. So we want that whenever a customer enters the details and submits the form, basically they place an order, the details of that order should be captured inside Pabbly Connect. And then using Pabbly Connect, we will send that data to Google Docs, and in Google Docs using an invoice template, a template document, we will be creating invoices on the basis of order which we have received from Google Forms. So let's begin. So here in Pabbly Connect, in trigger window, first in choose app, we will search for Google Forms. Select Google Forms. And in this video guys, we are using Google Forms, but if you want, you can use some other form building application of your choice as well, like Typeform, JotForm, Pabbly Form Builder, or any other form building application. And after selecting Google Forms from choose app, here in trigger event from the drop down, select new response received. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we will use this webhook URL to make the connection between Google Form and Pabbly Connect. So guys, here what we have to do, we just have to copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. So after copying this webhook URL, just go to the form, the order form which you have created in Google Form. So this is the form, and in this form, I'm asking some details of the order from the customer, like the name of the customer, email, mobile number, delivery address that where we are supposed to deliver the product, just example for cake, delivery date and time, what's the name they want to be written on the cake, what's the flavor of cake they want, and what is the quantity. So here guys, whatever form you want to create, you can create in Google Form. Just ensure that the last question of that form should be turned on to the required section. So the last question should be mandatory to answer by the customer. Just turn it on. And after that, right now we are in the questions tab. We will switch to the responses tab over here in Google Forms. And we will click on this tiny little icon of create spreadsheet. Just click on it, select create a new spreadsheet and click on create. When we will click on create guys, in a new tab, a Google Sheet will open up. And this is the same sheet guys in which the form submission response or form submission data are stored of our Google form. So whenever we will receive a form submission in Google form, automatically that data is by default stored in this sheet. So from this sheet, we will be sending the form submission data to Google Pabbly Connect. And instead of Google Forms, if you are using just Google Sheet, you are manually entering all of the order details in Google Sheet. And in that way, you want to generate new invoices, you can follow the same process over here. Now to connect this sheet with Pabbly Connect, we have to go to Extensions, Add-ons and click on Get Add-ons. After clicking on Get Add-ons, here we will reach on Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Pabbly, Pabbly Connect Webhooks. And as you can see, this add-on of Pabbly Connect Webhooks is already installed in my Google Sheets. You just have to install the same add-on into your own Google Sheet, and after that, just refresh your Google Sheets once. This is a very important step. And after refreshing it, once again, we'll go to Extensions. Pabbly Connect Webhook add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it, and here click on Initial Setup. Now, when we click on Initial Setup, a dialog box appears in front of us, and this dialog box is asking us three basic questions: selected sheet, webhook URL, and trigger column. So here in selected sheet, we have to select the sheet that from which sheet we want to send the data to Pabbly Connect. So here in this spreadsheet, you can see there is only one sheet right now, and that is form response 1. The name of that sheet is form response 1. That is why by default this sheet is selected. Then the second thing it is asking us is the webhook URL. So you must be remembering guys, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. So we have to paste the same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect workflow we have received and paste it over here. And after entering the same webhook URL, the next thing it asks us is the trigger column. Now you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. So guys, here in the background example, you can see that column I will be my trigger column because this is the last data entry column of my sheet, this sheet. After column I, in none of the column, any of my data does not exist. That's why I will select column I as trigger column. Instead of column I, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, any column could be your trigger column of your Google Sheet. You just have to ensure that it is the last data entry column. It is the last column in which your data is entering. And after entering this trigger column, click on Submit. And setup configured successfully. We have successfully connected this Google Sheet in which our Google Form responses will be stored with Pabbly Connect. Now just close it. Once again, go to Extensions, go to Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and this time select this option of Send on Event. Just click on it. And by selecting Send on Event, we are telling this Google Sheet that whenever a data of a new row, data in a new row is added till our trigger column. This means by this use case, whenever a new form submission data is added in this Google Sheet, instantly send that data to Pabbly Connect. So by selecting Send on Event, we are telling this to Google Sheet. And now guys, we are ready to go. Now, whenever we will receive a new response in this Google form, automatically that form submission data will be received in Pabbly Connect. So what we are going to do, we are going to place a test order, a dummy order using this Google form. Just copy the share link of this form. Just copy it, and in a new tab, we are going to paste it. So this is the order form, and we are going to place a dummy order using this form. For example, let's enter some dummy details. Example, dummy name. So this is just a dummy details of a customer, email address, a dummy mobile number, then a dummy delivery address as well. After that, we have to enter a dummy delivery date and time also. So for this dummy order, I want my delivery date to be, let's select the date as, for example, 25th of September 2022, and time should be, for example, 6 p.m. Okay, after this, let's enter the name of the cake. For example, name of the cake I want is dummy.
Let's select a flavor. So I will be selecting, just for this dummy response, we'll be selecting flavor as choco chip, and the quantity will be, for example, 2 kgs. So these two details are very important as well. So right now, after entering some details, we are just going to place a test order, a dummy form submission in this form. Click on submit, and the form has been submit. And because we have connected this form, or basically this Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect, here in Google Sheet we can see that form submission response is added. Instantly, this same data will also be captured inside Pabbly Connect. And yes, here in Pabbly Connect, we can see that we have received some response. And this is the response of the same form submission, same data, which we have just now made while entering this form. So we have the same name of the customer, same email, same mobile number, same address, same date and time, that at what date and time customer has requested the order or the cake should be delivered. Name on cake, same flavor of cake, and also the same quantity. So in this way, guys, we have successfully received the order details from Google Forms and Pabbly Connect. Now, guys, to create the invoice, we need to add the total calculations and the total amount and total values of the invoice as well. That what is the product that has been ordered by the customer, what is the quantity, what is the price, what is the total amount, and all of those things. But guys, here, like you can see in this Google form which we have created, we have given an option, for example, of 4 products. You can basically give any amount of products of your choice, but all of these 4 products have different price. Like for chocolate, the price is, for example, 400 rupees per kg. For choco chip, it is 500 rupees per kg. Let's take an example of pineapple, that is 600 rupees per kg, and the butterscotch cake is 700 rupees per kg. Now guys, suppose all of these 4 products have different pricing. So the total amount of the invoice can also be static. And also, not just the flavor of the cake, but the quantity of the cake is also a variable. Like the customer will be choosing what amount of cake they want, what is the size of the cake they want. So we have to basically multiply the price of the cake and the quantity of the cake to get the total amount. And we have to add all of those value into the invoice which we are going to create. Now guys, but to do so, first we have to introduce the prices of the cake in this automation workflow. And to do so, guys, we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect, that is lookup table. So using lookup table, we are going to create a pricing table in this workflow, a short little pricing table where we are going to mention the name of all the products and their price in front of that. And after that, using lookup table, whatever flavor of the cake, whatever product the customer will be choosing, whatever data will be receiving from Google Forms selected by the customer, the name of that product and the price of that product will be given by in the response by lookup table. So how it works, let me show you. So we will just scroll down and come to our action window, and here in choose app we will search for lookup table. Select lookup table, and in action event from the drop down, select this, click on connect. Now, after selecting lookup table, the first thing it asks us is the lookup key. So here in lookup key, we have to basically map this response of flavor of cake, basically the response of the product whose price we want to know in response. So this is the product, just we have to map this response of flavor of cake over here. And guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and in the drop down below, we can see all the responses we have received from form submission from Google Forms can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, select the response of flavor of cake and it will be mapped over here. After that, the next thing it asks us is the fallback value. So this is not a mandatory thing, you can ignore it for now. And the next thing it asks us is the lookup table. So here, one by one, in label section, we have to mention the exact name of the product, the exact name of the flavor of the cake in label section. And in value, in front of that, we have to mention the price of the product. So let me show this to you with an example. So let's see, our first product over here was chocolate. So we will just copy this exact spelling, the exact text of that flavor name, product name, that is chocolate. And the rate which we have decided for chocolate was 400 rupees. So I will enter 400 over here. Then click on this plus button. Then our next product, next flavor was choco chip. Let's copy the same exact name of choco chip which we are going to get from Google Form response and paste it over here. And the price of choco chip was 500. Click here, and in this way, basically we have to add all the products. We have to create a table of all the products and their pricing. So in label section, we are going to mention the product name, the response name or the flavor name, which we are going to get from form submission. And in front of that, in value section, we will be mentioning their price, which we want to get in response. And at last, the butterscotch. Copy this, paste it over here, and then the price is 700. So in this way, I've created a pricing table like the product name, and in front of that in value section, their price. So whatever product the customer will be selecting over here in Google Forms, we will get that response. That same response is mapped over here. So whatever product the customer will be selecting while making the form submission, in response of lookup table, we will get that product name and the price of it, the value in front of it. Let's click on Save and Send Test Request and check this. And yes, because we have mapped choco chip over here, in response we can see choco chip and the value of choco chip. That what is the price of choco chip, that is 500 we have entered over here. So in this way, whatever product is customer is choosing in lookup table, we can get the price of that product. So we have the order details from Google Forms, and we have also received the price of the product ordered by the customer. Now guys, after getting the price of the product which customer has ordered, we have to multiply this price with the quantity. To do this kind of multiplication, just click on this add action step button over here, and here in choose app, search for number formatter. So number formatter is a feature, is a module of Pabbly Connect using which we can also do the calculations. So after selecting number formatter by Pabbly, in action event from the drop down, select perform math operation and click on connect. Then the first thing it asks us is the numbers, that what are the numbers on between which you want to perform the math operation. So we want to perform the math operation between the price of the product which we have received from lookup table and the quantity which customer has ordered, the response which we have received of quantity from Google Forms in trigger window. So we will be mapping this quantity and price over here in this number field. Just click here, and from the drop down below, from the responses of lookup table, first select and map the price of the product. Then add a comma, and after adding the comma from the responses of Google Forms, select the response of quantity and map it. And after mapping the price and quantity, in operations from the drop down below, select multiply and click on save. So in this way guys, we have performed this math operation, and in this math operation we can see that we have the value. So we have multiplied the price of the product by with the quantity which customer has ordered, and we have received the total amount. Now at last, we have to send all of these details, all of this data which we have received to Google Docs, so that the template invoice which we have created in Google Docs, using this invoice, we can generate new invoice for every new order using this automation. Now to do so, just scroll down, and for the one last time, click on this add action step button over here. And here in choose app, search for Google Docs. Google Docs it is. And then in action event from the drop down, select create document from template. So we have the template and we want to create a new invoice document. So select action event as create document from template and click on connect. Select add new connection and click on connect with Google Docs. Select your Google Docs account, the same account in which your invoice template is created, or you have created your invoice template. And then here in a new tab, it is asking us to authorize. Just click on continue. And now we can see that our Google Docs account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is to select the template document. So in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the documents which we have created in Google Docs can be seen over here. And out of all of this document, we have to select the template invoice document which we have created. So the name of this document is invoice template. So we will be selecting this template over here. And after selecting our template, the next thing it asks us is new document name. That the new document, new invoices which we are going to generate, what will be the name of that invoice? So I want the name of the newly generated invoice to be the name of the customer who has placed the order. We have received the name of the customer from Google Forms. And after that, I want the date of the date at which, what date and time the customer has ordered the response. So on Google Form submission, here we have received the timestamp, that at what timestamp or at what date and time we have received the order, we have received the form submission. So we will be mapping both of these details, the name of the customer and the timestamp, to generate a new name for the new document. So we'll just scroll down. We'll click here in this new document name field, and from Google Form responses, select the response of customer name, add a hyphen, and after that map the timestamp. Then it is asking us new document location, that what is the location of the new document which we are willing to create. So the newly generated document will be stored on the Google Drive of our account, the same account which we have connected in Google Docs account. on the Google Drive of that same account, the newly generated document will be stored. So here it is asking us in which folder, particularly in which folder this new document we want to be stored. So let's go to my Google Drive first. This is Google Drive. And here guys, I have a folder named as new files. So I want that whatever new invoices we have generated, that new invoices should be stored in this new files named as folder. So here in Pabbly Connect, from the drop down, from the list of all the folders which we have created in our Google Drive, select that particular folder. And after that, now we can see a list of all the variables, all the curly braces which we have added in our Google Doc can be seen over here. Now guys, the details, or like the customer name, address, email address, mobile number, invoice number, and all of these details are basically going to be a dynamic text, a variable for every new invoices. All of these details are going to be changed for every new invoice. And to add these kind of text, these kind of variables, body fields, or some dynamic text which are going to change for every new invoice, I have added some text in double curly braces. So this is basically a variable, a dynamic text, a body field should we say. And guys, here we can see a list of all of these body fields, all of these text which I have added in double curly braces. We can see different fields for all of these text over here in Pabbly Connect workflow. So one by one, what text we want to place or insert in place of these body fields, we have to enter that text over here. Like here in this invoice, new invoice, in place of this customer name body field, customer name dynamic text, I want that name of the customer who placed the order should be entered. So here in customer name, from the drop down from Google Form responses, we will map the name of the customer. Then in place of customer address, we will be mapping the name of address of the customer which we have received from Google Forms. So this is the delivery address. Then in place of email, we will be mapping the email of the customer. This is it. And one by one, in this way, we will be mapping all of the data. Let's map the mobile number. Now after that, here it asks us for the invoice number. So all the invoices which I am generating using this automation, I want the invoice number to be that INV dash, and after dash, I want to mention the row number. So this is the row index of the row which we have received from Google Sheets. So here after Google Form submission, the data which we have received from form submission from Google Sheet, we have the row number that at what row number this data is present. So I want to add this row number over here in this invoice number. So I'll be mapping the row index over here. Then let's map the delivery date and time which we have received from Google Forms. So this is delivery date and time, just map it. Let's map the name of the product, the flavor of the product or flavor of the cake which customer has ordered. Let's map the quantity. So we have also received the quantity over here. So to map the price, we will be mapping the response from lookup table from where we have received the price of the product which customer has ordered. And at last, the total amount. So here in total amount from the drop down, after using number formatter, we have multiplied the price with quantity and received the total amount. So this is the total amount which customer has ordered. So in this way, guys, we can see all the data which we have mapped over here. Basically, all the data which we have received from Google Forms, lookup table, and after using number formatter and all the calculation, making all the calculation of amount, we have mapped all of that data over here. And now just click on Save and Send Test Request. And after clicking on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received some response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows using all this data which we have mapped and this template, a new document is been generated, a new invoice has been generated. The name of the new document is this which we have entered and it is stored on our Google Drive in this particular folder. So let's check. We will go to Google Drive and this is the folder. And yes guys, here in this folder we can see there is a new document. Let's open this document. So this is the same document name, the name of the customer who placed the order and the date and time of receiving the order. Then we have this invoice, and in this invoice we can see this is the same invoice generated using this template which we have created. And all the details are the same in this invoice. Like we have the same name of the customer who placed the order using Google Form. We have the same address, same email address, same mobile number of the customer. We have the invoice number and delivery date and time. Also guys, we have the description of the product, the quantity, price and amount which customer has ordered. So in this way guys, we have created an automation, a simple automation by which you can receive online orders using Google Forms, and using this automation, automatically an invoice will be generated in using a Google Docs template of invoice and it will be stored in our Google Drive. So guys, after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once in real time. So we are going to place another order. Let's refresh this Google form, and this time let's enter the details for some new user. For example, the name of the user is test name. Let's add some different email address. Let's enter a different mobile number as well. A different delivery address. And now let's add a date and time. For example, 30th of September 2022. The time should be 12 p.m. Name of cake is, for example, test. Flavor of cake, this time we will be ordering the butterscotch cake and for 4 kgs. Let's select this and click on submit. So as we submit the form, guys, we will see instantly, automatically within seconds, a new invoice is generated using this automation which we have created, and that new invoice file is stored or created in our Google Drive. So in Google Drive, we can see just now a new document is created. The name of this document is test name and the date and time of form submission. Let's open this document and we will see this is the same invoice which we have just now generated using the data from the form submission. We have the same customer name, same address, same email address, same phone numbers, same product description, same product butterscotch cake, 4 kg, 700 was the price, and the total amount is 2800 rupees. So using this automation, guys, we can say that the automation which we have created is working perfectly fine. And every time when you will receive an online order using Google Forms, and this automation will automatically create an invoice for that order, and it will be stored into a Google Drive. So now, guys, further in this automation, if you want to send the invoice to your customer or update your team, or whatever you want to do, just keep on adding action step over here. Like if you want to send the invoice via WhatsApp, just add the WhatsApp step next to it. If you want to send the invoice via email, send the email step next to it, or whatever you want to do, you can do this using this automation. So if you want, you can just keep on adding steps according to your choice in this automation as well.
Sometimes you may want to generate lot of PDF file from your Google Sheet data. And in this video, I will be telling you the way in which you can generate as many PDF files as you want based on the dynamic data that is present inside Google Sheet. So let me give you an example. This is one of the Google Sheet that I have created, and I'm actually doing an event, and these are all the name and all the event participant who have registered for my event. So you can see the name right here. The participant email is right there. The competition in which they have participated is right here. And then there is an event coordinator phone number where the participant can contact the coordinator just in case if they have any questions regarding the event. So you can see the data is right here. The name is right here. The email is right here. The competition in which the participant has participated is right here. And then there is a coordinator number which is right here. Now I actually have a dynamic data right here. And I actually have a certificate created as well, which is essentially a letter of confirmation because the participants have participated. So I have created a letter of confirmation which says, hello full name. Thank you for submitting your entry for the competition name. I would like to tell you that your entry for the competition is confirmed. The event will take place on the 29th of this current month. Please get in touch with our manager at phone number for further details about the event. Thanks and warm regards, Pabbly team. So you can see I have created a letter of confirmation with the help of Google Docs, and all my participants are here inside the Google Sheet. So now what I essentially want to do is I want to replace this full name which is shown right here with the full name which is present right here. I want to change the competition name and the phone number with the data that I actually have right here, which is the competition name is right here and the event coordinator phone number is right here. And lastly, once these PDFs are created and generated automatically, I want to send this PDF across to participant on their email address, which is exactly right here. Okay, so you might have understood the whole use case on what exactly I want to do. Let me show you how the entire automation can be done with the help of Pabbly Connect, and I will not be using a single line of code to generate PDFs and later send these PDFs across to the participants in real time. So what you have to do is just click on plus button right here and go to connect.pabbly.com. So the URL is connect.pabbly.com. In my case, I have already done my registration on pabbly.com. So that is why I am directly inside the dashboard right here. But just in case if you are not registered, sign up first on pabbly.com and then you will be taken to the connect.pabbly.com dashboard right here. My first step involves you to click the create workflow button right here. I will just zoom it a little bit so that everything will be much more clear for you. So just click on create workflow right here and just write Google Sheets to PDF, because we essentially want to generate a PDF file from Google Sheets data. So just click on create button right here and you can see the first thing that you see on the screen is choose a trigger. So it is basically asking us that where are you going to get the data from? So we are going to get our data from Google Sheet. So I will just click on this button and I will choose Google Sheets right here. So this is where we will be getting our data from. And what is the trigger event? So I'm just going to write that my trigger event is new spreadsheet row, so that whenever there is a row in my Google Sheet, I actually want to pull the data. And as soon as you do that, you can basically see all the instructions being written right here on how to connect Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. But because I'm doing this video, I will actually tell you all the step one by one here itself. Okay, and just remember that you do not even have to do any single line of coding to get this whole integration done. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do is just copy this webhook URL and just keep it somewhere. So in my case, I'm just going to copy it. It will be saved in my clipboard. So I do not have to paste it anywhere, but just copy it. Okay. After copying, just click this capture webhook response button, which is available right here. Okay. And you can see that it is waiting for a webhook response. Now try to understand what is a webhook. Webhook is actually a way for an external software to send data inside Pabbly Connect. So external software, they can send their data to Pabbly Connect with the help of webhook. Pabbly Connect will capture that webhook, and based on the data that is supplied to Pabbly Connect, it can then create PDF from a template and it can do a lot of things, whatever you want to do. Okay. So I have clicked the capture webhook response. It is saying that it is waiting for a response. Now we have already copied this webhook URL. What I will essentially go and do is I will go back to Google Sheet. Okay. Then I will go to add-ons section right here. I will click on get add-ons. Okay. Because we essentially have to paste that webhook URL somewhere. Okay. And we will be pasting it inside one of the extensions that we already have. The first thing that you have to do is search for app. In my case, you will have to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Okay, search for this add-on, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks, and click on this button. Okay, as soon as you do that, you will be taken to this Pabbly Connect webhooks extension. Just click on this and click on install. In my case, the extension is already installed. That is why you are seeing the uninstall button right here. But otherwise, in your case, it might ask you to install the extension, and then it will ask you for certain permission to enable this plugin enable this add-on on your Google Sheet. Okay, so just install it, give it the necessary permission it needs, and you will be all set. Okay, so I'm just closing this window because it is already installed in my case. All you have to do is go to add-ons, look out for Pabbly Connect webhooks menu item right here, and then just click on initial setup, which is available on the menu item. In the initial setup, just make sure that you enter the webhook URL that you have already copied from Pabbly Connect. So I'm talking about this webhook URL that you have already copied. So just go and paste this webhook URL right here. This is the way to connect your Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect so that all the data from Google Sheet will reach Pabbly Connect, and then Pabbly Connect will generate the certificate out of it. Okay. Lastly is the trigger column. Trigger column is always the last column in your Google Sheet. So in this specific Google Sheet, you can see the data is filled up to the D column. So just make sure that you enter the trigger column as D. And because everything looks good to me, I'm just going to do my first test request to see if the first row of data, which is Neeraj Agrawal, is sent properly to Pabbly Connect. So I'm just going to click this send test button right here. And you can see the test data is sent successfully. So if you move back to Pabbly Connect, you will actually find the name here. The participant email is right here. The competition in which he has participated is right there. And event coordinator phone number is already right here. So the data reached properly to Pabbly Connect, which essentially means that our integration is working perfectly fine. And we do not even have to worry about anything. All we can do now is to generate our certificates from the template, which is inside right here. Okay, so the next step involves you to create a Google Docs document from the confirmation template right here. And before I do anything, I will just take you to Google Drive here. What I have done is I have created this Google Docs file and the Google Sheet file inside. Let me just reload the page. Okay, so just reloading the page here. So all I have done is I have created this event directory in my Google Drive. So you can see the event directory. If I go to my Google Drive right here, you will see the event directory is right here. So you can just click it and see the event directory. Inside the event directory, I have created the Google Docs file, which I have already shown you earlier in the video. And within the event file, I have also created the Google Sheet file, which you have seen on the earlier segment as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to create two new folders inside the event file. My first folder is the doc file, because we will be creating multiple document file based on the template file right here. And lastly, we will be creating one more folder, which will be PDF files. Okay. This will basically hold all the PDF files that will be created from this very same template. Okay, so the process involves that the first step will happen will be the doc file will be created from this template with the dynamic data from Google Sheet. And once the doc is created, we can then create PDF file from the very same document file, and we can store those PDF files right here. Okay, so I'm just moving back to Pabbly Connect. The first step is to select Google Docs. So I'm just typing the name as Google Docs. So this will be your application name. The action event, there are multiple action events that are available inside Pabbly Connect. So the action event that you are interested in will be create document from a template. Okay, because essentially you want to create document from the template right here. So just click on create document from a template, click on connect with Google Docs, and then you can just click on connect with Google Docs right here. Okay. As soon as you do that, it will give you the list of Google account. Just select the relevant account in which your files are there, and just give it all the necessary permissions so that Pabbly Connect can actually access your file. Okay. So what it has done is it has automatically captured the confirmation template document because it was recently made. So it has already found it, and it is already populated it right here in the template document. Just in case if the template document is not appearing in your drop down menu right here, you can enable this mapping button right here. Okay, just enable this map button, go to your confirmation template, select the ID which is shown right here. So you can just copy this ID. Okay, ID is between the D and between the edit. You do not have to capture the slashes, you just have to capture the ID. So this is your confirmation ID. You can just copy them, and inside Pabbly Connect, if you want, you can also paste it right here. Okay, just in case if it is not available in the drop down. In my case, it is already been shown in the drop down, so I'm not doing anything else. The next is the new document name. So whenever a new document will be created, you can basically name the document whatever you want. So in my case, what I really want to do is I want to create this document by the name of the participant itself. The participant name is Neeraj Agrawal. So I essentially want to create the document by the very same name. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this map button right here. And after clicking on map button, you will see the trigger, which is the first step in this workflow. So I will just open the trigger and I will create the document by the name of Neeraj Agrawal. If you also want to include the competition name inside the name, you can add a hyphen or whatever you want, you can add it there. And then you can also add the competition participated as well. So the document will be created by the name of Neeraj space Agrawal hyphen drawing. Okay, so it will be much more recognizable for you and it will be much more easier for you to manage. Then it is asking us, where do you want the new document to be stored? So as you remember, we actually created the doc file right here. So what I can do is I can just click on drop down and I can just select the doc file right here. Again, the process is pretty much the same. Just in case if it is not appearing for you in the case of because you might have a lot of folders or directories in your Google Drive, you can again open your doc file and you can copy the ID from here. Just copy this ID, click this map button, and you can also paste the ID right here, just in case your folder is not displayed here in the new documents location. Next, what you can see essentially is it has automatically picked all the dynamic tags from your template. So if you remember, if you have created this template, whatever dynamic tags you have to create, just make sure that those dynamic tags are included inside the double quotes. Okay, so it is the opening double quotes, then there is a tag name, and then there is a closing double quote which can be seen right here. So if you can see in this document, we actually have 3 dynamic tags. First is the full name, second is the competition name, and third is the phone number. So what you can see is it has automatically populated the full name, competition name, and phone number from your template itself, where you have already placed the dynamic tags right here. Okay, so all you have to do is just click this map button right here, open the trigger window because we have already captured the data inside trigger, and map the full name inside the full name. Next is the competition name. Again, click on this map button, click on this trigger window, and just map the competition participated, which is drawing. And lastly, just map the phone number, and you can map the phone number right here as well. So when you are mapping, you will see that there is a key which says name, and then there is a value which says Neeraj Agrawal. Never worry about the way it is shown here. Only the value will be sent to the document, and the value will be replaced by this specific tag. Whatever tag is shown right here, the value will be replaced by the value which is shown right here. Because everything looks good to me, what I will do is I will just click on save and send a test request just to see if a doc file is created right here automatically or not. So I will just click on save and send a test request just to see if the doc file is created properly. And if you go back to the doc file here, you can actually see that the screenshot does not show you all the detail, but if you open the doc file, okay, you can see the doc file is created by the name of Neeraj Agrawal -drawing, and you can see all the dynamic tags are replaced by whatever value you put it in the first step itself. So you can see, hello Neeraj Agrawal, thank you for submitting your entry for the drawing. In fact, we forgot the word competition, so that's okay. Please, I would like to tell you that your entry for the competition is confirmed. Please get in touch, and the phone number is also replaced right here. Okay, so you can see our letter of confirmation is created inside the event directory inside the doc file. So now what we essentially want to do is we want to generate PDF files from the doc file. And to generate a PDF file from a doc file, the first step that you have to do is you have to make this doc file a publicly accessible file so that Pabbly Connect can access that file, and based on accessing that file, it will generate the PDF file. Okay, so all you have to do is just go to the next step, click on this plus button, and if you see, you will actually find that on the last step itself, you will find that there is an API response which has returned us the document ID. Okay, so this is the document ID. It says 1E70RC. And if you go to the confirmation, in fact, the doc file right here, it is the exact same file that is created. This is the document ID of the file, which is 1E70RC. Okay, so you can actually see that the document ID is returned back to you when you create a Google Docs file. So what we will be doing is we will be using this document ID, and we will be making this file a publicly accessible file only to the person to which this link of the file is present with them. If the link of the file is present with them, they can just Pabbly Connect will be able to access that file based on the document ID, and it will be able to generate PDF file from the document ID itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on plus button here. The next step after creating the document file involves you to make the file publicly accessible. Okay, and because the file is present inside our Google Drive, we will be selecting the app name as Google Drive, and we will be selecting a method right here which will be share file with anyone. Oh, in fact, you have to use this one, share a file with anyone, and it shares a file with anyone on the internet. Okay, so just select the option share a file with anyone. In the later stage, if you even after creating the PDF files, if you really want to delete the file, you can actually do that as well. Okay, so just going to give you a option. So clicking on connect with Google Drive, I'm selecting, in fact, I'm just going to connect my Google Drive right here by clicking on new credentials. And then you can select the relevant Gmail account through which you want to create and give the access to this file. So you can see the file ID is automatically populated, but because this will be a ongoing automation, we actually have to supply dynamic file ID, because each time the automation runs, it will generate a document ID which will be dynamic in itself. And once the document is generated, you want to give and share the very same file with everyone. So what you have to do is just click on map button right here. I'm again showing you, click on map button, delete all the static data that you see right here, and just map the value which is coming on the step just above it. So the step 2, Google Docs create document from template, just click on it, see where is the document ID, and you can see the document ID is right here. So just map the document ID, and as soon as you do that and as soon as you fire a request, this file will be publicly accessible, and Pabbly Connect then will be able to generate a PDF file out of it. So this file is shared. Just click on save and send a test request. So you can see the file is right here already. If you click this file right here, you will see that it is shown with a lock icon, which means that this file is currently private to just the Gmail account. But now this file will be publicly accessible through the link. So to access the file, someone has to have the very same ID which is shown right here. So now I'm just going back, and you can see the icon is changed to anyone with the link. So anyone with the link will be able to access this file. Okay. And because it is pretty much open file now, what we can do is we can generate a PDF out of this open file. Okay. And you can, if you see the API response right here, you can actually see the web view link of the file, the export link, and you can actually find the export link for application and PDF. So if you expand this will be our link to generate the PDF file. Okay, so this will be our link to generate the PDF file. So in the next step, we will be mapping this value to create and generate our PDF file. Okay, let me just show you what you have to do next. Click on this plus button. Okay, because we want to generate a file and we want to upload it inside Google Drive. All you have to do is select Google Drive again right here. So the app name will be Google Drive. And then the method that you have to use is upload a file, because you essentially want to upload a file to your Google Drive. So select upload a file option right here. Okay. Connect with Google Drive. Just give all the necessary permission. If you've already connected Google Drive once, you can also select your past credential, which happens to be Google Drive 19. So all the latest credential are saved in the bottom. We just authenticated Google Drive in the last step. So I'm just selecting the very same authentication credential, and I'm just going to click on save button right here. Okay. Now it is asking us for the URL of the file that you want to upload. So in my case, I actually showed you the URL, which will be export links application/PDF. You can also upload the RTF file, or you can upload the zip file, whatever you want, you can do that. But in this case, I actually want to upload the PDF file. So I will just click on this button. I will click on this mapping button right here. I will click on share a file with anyone. And then I will go in the bottom, and you will actually find this link which says export link application/PDF. If you really want to make it simple, you can also type PDF, and it will actually give you only the very same action step right here. So just map this value. Okay. I'm sorry, I just deleted it by mistakes. I'm just typing PDF. I'm just mapping it. Then it is asking us the folder ID in which we want to save these files. So folder ID, again, I will go to my event folder right here. PDF file will be my folder ID. So I'm just opening this folder, and I'm just copying the folder ID from here. I'm going back to Pabbly Connect. I'm entering the folder ID right here. Okay. Because this folder ID is going to be constant all the time, I can just map it statically right here, because the PDF generated are always going to go inside the very same folder ID. Last is the file name. So I will just map the file name as well. So I will just click this button. I want the file name to be created by the name of person. Then I want a hyphen. Then I want the competition name. And because we want this file to be a PDF type of file, I will just write .pdf. Okay. You have to mention this extension as well whenever you are creating the file. In the last step, we didn't mention the extension because Google Docs essentially do not have any extension at their end. So if you remember, we created a document from a template. Last time we didn't add any document name or extension right here, because Google Docs essentially don't have any extension with them, but the PDF file is going to have an extension, so that is why we are using the .pdf right here. So again, going back to PDF file, it is completely empty, but I will just click this save and send a test request button. Okay, and it will just take 10-15 seconds, and you will see that a PDF file is created with all the dynamic data in it. So you can see Neeraj Agrawal drawing. It says, hello Neeraj Agrawal, thank you for submitting your entry for the drawing, and the event is going to happen, and then there is a phone number, and then there is a letter of confirmation PDF which is generated. And you can see it is not a public file, it is a closed private file, so it shows not shared right here. Now even if you want, you can basically share this file to the very same audience or the very same participant who is participating in the competition. So all you have to do is click the plus button right here. Okay, and because we want to share the file with the very same participant, again select Google Drive action. So select Google Drive as an app, and then you just have to select this option which says share a file, connect with Google Drive. We have already authenticated one request, so select the Google Drive 19 option right here, click on save, and then it will give you the file ID. You actually have to map the file ID because it will be dynamic each time. So just remove this file ID. Which file ID we want to share? We want to share the PDF file. So PDF file is shown with uploaded file ID. You can see the file ID right here. So just map the file ID from the previous step. Click on this map button, click on Google Drive upload a file, and then you will just see the uploaded file ID, which will be right here. Just share it. And who do you want this file to be shared with? So just map the button again. On the trigger, you actually found the email, which was the participant email, which will be magnetmarketing251@gmail.com. So you can even share this. What kind of permission you want to give them for this PDF? PDFs can't be edited, but still if you want, you can give the edit permission for this PDF file. Okay, and because everything looks good to me, I will even open my Google Gmail account right here just to show if the file will be granted or not. You will actually find some security alert because we have essentially given the permission. Let me just delete this email. So the primary tab is empty. What we just want to do is we want to share this file. I will click on save and send a test request. And as soon as I do that, I will just move back to my Google Drive and Gmail account, and you will see that Neeraj Agrawal drawing.pdf is shared with the very same person, the participant, and he can download the file. He can just access the file right here. Okay, so it says letter of confirmation. Hello Neeraj Agrawal, thank you for submitting your entry, and all the things are right there. Now, sometimes there might be a possibility that your participant might not have a Gmail account. In that case, what you can essentially do is you can, instead of using share a file, you can also use an option which says share a file with anyone. So basically you will make this file a publicly accessible file, and then you can select the app name as Gmail, and then you can send the exact same file link to the person on his Gmail or whatever email address he has. Because the file IDs are so long, even when we make publicly accessible without the IDs, no one can actually open up your files. So this is just one other option that you can basically experiment with. You can share the file with anyone with the link, and based on that link, you can send that link on someone's Gmail. We actually have a app for sending email on Gmail as well. So you can just add as many steps as you want. So if you want, you can also send an email to the person with the exact file ID with the help of Gmail, which is send an email option. Okay. So, but in this specific case, I'm just deleting the Gmail module because I do not want to show you, otherwise the video will be too long. So what I have done is, let me just close everything because that way it will be easier for you to understand. We have actually created a long workflow, honestly. So what we have essentially done is, in the first step, we have captured the data from Google Sheet. Based on that Google Sheet capture, we have created a document from a template. We have created a Google Docs file. Then we have shared the very same Google Docs file with anyone. On the next step, we have uploaded a file and we have generated a PDF file, and we have uploaded that file inside our Google Drive. And lastly, we have shared the file with the very same participant email on his email address. Because everything looks good to me and my automation looks just fine, I can just enable this workflow, and this workflow is already enabled. So now what I will do is I will go back to my Google Sheet right here, and now I actually want to generate PDFs for just about all the data right here. Here I am showing just 4 data, but you can basically have 20, 30, 40, 50 people, and whatever data you have, you can actually have that. All you have to do is go to add-ons, okay, click on Pabbly Connect webhook, and if you want, you can send a custom data, okay, or if you want, you can send all data as well. When you click on send all data, what it will essentially do is it will send the row number 2, then it will send the row number 3, then it will send the row number 4, and then it will send the row number 5, and all the PDFs will be created right here. So let me just click on add-ons, Pabbly Connect webhook, and send all data. You can also send custom data. I'm just showing you the screen. On the custom data, you can specify the start range. So in this case, the start range will be A2 and the end range will be D5. So you can mention A2 to D5 and all the rows of data will be sent. Okay. I'm going back to add-ons, clicking on Pabbly Connect webhooks, and I'm clicking on send all data. And all the data will be sent one by one through webhook on Pabbly Connect. Pabbly Connect will receive that data. It will perform all the steps one by one, and it will keep on saving all the PDF file right here. So in fact, you can see the first PDF file is already saved right here with the name of Neeraj Agrawal. The second PDF file is created, which is Pankaj Jian for painting. Okay. And it will keep on adding more files one by one on the Google Drive itself. Okay. And then you can see 2 more Google Drives are created, Google PDFs are created. Third is the Neev Nayar, and then it is the Vinny Goyal. So I believe all the participant data is submitted. So 4 new files are created because we sent all 4 data. You can actually see 5 files right here because when we were initially trying our automation, the first file was already created right here. So you can see all the 4 new files are created. If you open them up, okay, you can actually see the letter of confirmation with all the dynamic data in it. Okay, so this looks amazing and this looks fantastically well. There is one more thing. If you remember, I added the magnetmarketing251@gmail.com participant email again. So this means we might have got an email for Neev Nayar as well on our email address. Okay. In fact, all the emails will be sent, but because this email address is open to me, I can actually see the file being sent to me. So I will just open it and you can see Neev Nayar dancing.pdf file is right here. And I can actually access this file. I can download it. I can keep it as a letter of confirmation. Whatever I want to do, I can do that. So again, I believe you might have understood how you can create and generate as many PDF files as possible from the Google Sheet data. And you can see all the PDF files right here.
Hello everyone. So in this video, we will learn how to mail merge from Google Sheets to Google Docs without using AppScript. So we are going to begin with a small example. So as you can see, this is my Google Sheet and we have the database of the customer or the user. So we have 19 of them. So the first person is Annie Malcolm and this is her email. This is the city she resides, zip code and her phone number. Likewise, we have Barney Stinson and this is his email, the city, zip code and the phone number. So we have people arranged alphabetically up to Whitney Parag. So this is her email and this is her phone number and the city she resides. So the idea is that there will be associated Google Docs of these people in my Google Docs. Let me show you. So the first person is Annie Malcolm. So there is automatically a file or a Google Doc created for Annie Malcolm. So let me just show you. Let me just scroll down. Yes, Annie Malcolm. So let me just show you the doc. Okay, so hello Annie Malcolm. You will get the product at this address and this pin code. Furthermore, you will be reminded via SMS at this number and mail at this email address. Similarly, we have other people. So the next person is Barney Stinson. So let me just show you the message or the doc of Barney Stinson, the associated doc of Barney Stinson. So this is the doc. Okay, hello Barney Stinson and so details, postcode, the phone number as well as the email address. And then we have a person, let's say, how about we randomly select one? Let's say Whitney Barrack. Okay, so or how about Leonard Hofstadter? So we will just select someone in the middle. That would be much better. So Leonard Hofstadter it is. So let us have a look. Do we have Leonard Hofstadter? Yes, we do have the Google Docs of Leonard Hofstadter. Now this is something you have to know. This is not I have created manually. This is something that has been created automatically from the data that is present in my Google Sheet. And at the last, we have a person that is Whitney Barak. So let's see whether we have a Whitney Barak as Google Doc. Yes, Whitney Barak. So basically, your obvious question is, how did I manage to create a document in Google Docs from the data present in Google Sheet? So basically, I have used an integration and automation software called as Pabbly Connect that has integrated Google Sheets and Google Docs. Now, the best part of using Pabbly Connect is there is no need for coding skills or programming knowledge. Let me show you the process. So basically, in the new tab, just type pabbly.com. Pabbly.com it is. Okay, so this is the website of pabbly.com. Let me just click on sign in. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. As you can see, I already have made an account in Pabbly Connect. You can also create your own free account in just 2 minutes. Let me just scroll down and here you will find Connect. Just click on Access Now. Okay, so basically we are going to create a new workflow to integrate Google Sheets and Google Doc. So let me just click on Create Workflow. Okay, so I'm going to give a name to this workflow. How about Google Sheets to Google Docs Mail Merge. And let me just click on Create. Okay, so when you click on Create, a window appears in front of you. This is called as the trigger window. Now, what I'm going to do here is basically I want to send or create Google Docs for these people. Okay, so the database of these people at a particular time. Now I'm going to select a time. So let me show you how you can do it. So we are going to use an app called as Scheduled by Pabbly. We click this. And basically, we want to create a document only once. It will be ridiculous if we keep creating documents for the same people. So we're just going to make it as once. And it is demanding the date as well as the time. So now I just want to create the documents for today. So that is why I'm going to select the date as today's date. Today is 18th of May 2021. And here we have to mention the time at which these documents will be created. So right now here it is around 4:30 p.m. So we have to mention the time in UTC format. Okay, so the IST, that is the Indian Standard Time, is 1620, basically 4:30, around 4:30. So it wants UTC format. So UTC format is significantly different from your standard country time. I'm from India. The Indian Standard Time here is 4:30, okay, but the UTC is very different. So let's say I want to create documents at 5:30 p.m. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mention it as 5:30. So basically this is a website. You just basically search Indian Standard Time to UTC or British Standard Time to UTC, associated website will sprout out. So this is one of those websites, Savvy Time, okay. You can use any other websites, totally up to you. So basically the idea is that I want to create the mail merge or the documents at 5:30 p.m. Now the associated UTC is 12 p.m. Okay, so how about we make it as 5 p.m. It will be much better. 5 p.m. in half an hour. Okay, so the associated UTC is 11:30 a.m. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mention it as 11:30. 11:30. Okay, so we have set the time element, that is basically today at 11:30, which is 5 p.m. Okay, so all we have to do is just click on save. Okay, so the schedule has been successfully inserted. Just press OK. So we have dealt with time. Now we have to deal with the data. So basically this is your data. You want all this data into Pabbly Connect. So to do that, let me introduce one window. So this is an action window. Now in the Choose app, how about we make it as Google Sheets? Google Sheets it is. Now in the action event, how about we make it as Get Rows? Okay, so Get Row is an action event. All we have to do at this point is just click on Connect. In the new connection name, let me just click on Connect with Google Sheets. Okay, so basically we have to select one Gmail account. Now this particular Google Sheet from which we have to extract the data is present in this account. So I'm selecting this account. Okay, so it is asking me to confirm my choice. So before I press allow, let me tell you something. Pabbly Connect doesn't take any chances with your data. Your data is 100% safe and secure with us. So let me just press allow. Okay, authorization is complete. Okay. So by default, it is showing me two fields, spreadsheet and the range. Now we want to extract the data from this particular spreadsheet, data list of user. So what I'm going to do here is, here in the spreadsheet, I'm going to change it to data list of user. So basically these are all the spreadsheet that is present in my Gmail account. So I'm selecting this one. Okay, so yeah, this one, data list of user. Now we have to mention the range. So the range is basically you want to send the data from this cell to this cell. Let me just show you this cell. This is our last cell and this is our first cell. Okay, so the first cell is A2 and the last cell is I think F20. Yeah, so the last cell is F20. So basically this is your range. I'm just going to copy this address A2 to F20 and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so we have mentioned the range. Let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so as you can see, we do have the data of the people present in my Google Sheet. So as you can see, we have the first entry name, the first entry number, that is 1, and the associated name is Amy Milcom, and then we have the email as amy26064@gmail.com, and then we have the city, the zip code, and the phone. The city, the zip code, and the phone. Now let's have a look at the second person, that is Barney Stinson. So Barney Stinson is second, and then this is the email, this is the zip code, this is the phone number. Now let's explore one random one. So how about Castiel Dean? So we have a guy called as Castiel Dean, and we have all the details of Castiel Dean. Let's explore the last person. The last person is Whitney Barak. So let's have a look at Whitney Barak. Let me just scroll down to the bottom. So the last person is Whitney Barak. Yes, 19th person is Whitney Barak. This is her email. This is the city where she resides. This is her zip code, and this is her phone number. Basically, we have got all the data from Google Sheet. Now what we are going to do? Basically, we are going to create a prototype. So the reason we are going to create a prototype is we are going to apply conditions on that prototype. So my idea is that I'm going to work with Annie Milcom. So the first person is Annie. So I'm going to give her as the prototype. So we will be applying conditions on Annie Milcom. Okay. So basically the first step will be we have to sort out the details of Annie Milcom individually. At present we have the whole data from Google Sheet. But I only want to create a prototype, the details of Annie Milcom only. So what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I'm going to toggle this to the left, and I'm just going to click on save and send test request once again. Okay, yeah. So as you can see, we do have some details, but this is in a very clumsy format. So basically this is an array. Okay, so we have the details of Annie Milcom and rest of the people. Now, we are going to sort out the details of Annie Milcom individually. That is why we are going to introduce iterator. So let me just click on this plus button, and in the choose app, let me just add iterator by Pabbly. And in the choose array, it is already showing the values. Okay, so basically it has already grasped these values. So this is basically the array. It is already showing it. All we have to do is just click on save and send test request. Okay, so basically we have the value. Okay, so this is the value of, basically this, we have isolated the value of Annie Milcom. We have her entry number, we have her name, her email, her city, the zip code, as well as the phone number. Now what we are going to do? So your obvious question is, what about the rest of them? Well, this is the first iteration. Okay, don't worry, we don't have to work with other iterations. So basically we are going to apply all the condition on this particular prototype, and it will be followed on the rest of them. So this is the first iteration, and this is the first iteration, basically this whole row, the whole row for Annie Milcom, and the rest of the iteration will continue up to the last row is reached. Okay, so the last row is of Whitney Barak. So Whitney Barak will be our last iteration. So what we are going to do here is we have to actually sort out the details of Annie Milcom individually. So first of all, I'm going to introduce one more app, that is JSON extractor. JSON extractor it is. Now in the action event, how about make it as extract JSON data? Let me just click on connect. Okay, so basically we have to map the data. So what I am doing? So basically the idea is that we have all data of the row. For example, we have the entry, the name, the email, and so and so. But this is actually a package. Okay, all this detail is in a package. What if I just want the name that is Annie Milcom? What if I just want the city where she resides, that is New York? We can't just work with whole package. We just want each data individually. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is in the data, we are going to map the data that we have received from iterator, and the data has been mapped. Let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so we have the data. Okay, so as you can see, we have individual data. The first name is Annie Milcom, then we have the email, the city, the state, basically her postal code, and we have her phone number. Excellent. Now we can work with her as making her as a prototype. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a blank document in Google Docs. Okay, so let me just create a blank document. In the choose tab, let me just add Google Docs. Okay, so let me just click on create a blank document. Just click on connect. Click on connect with Google Docs. Okay, so again, I want to work with Google Docs that is present in this account, so I'm selecting this one. Okay, so it is asking me to confirm my choice. Let me just scroll down and let me just click on allow. Authorization complete. Okay, so basically, first of all, to create a blank document, we have to give a name. So I'm planning some unique name. So the idea is that we are just going to go to the fourth accordion. Okay, and we are just going to enter the entry, then give a dash, and after that we're just going to enter the name, and after that how about we enter the phone number, so it will make it more unique. Okay, so this is the phone number. So we are going to create a blank document which will be totally unique with a unique name. So let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so let me just show you the document that has been created. So let me just refresh my Google Docs. Okay, so as you can see, a new doc that is 1-Annie Milcom- the phone number has been created. So basically, we are going to input all the details of Annie Milcom from the Google Sheet into this particular. So in the next phase, we are going to append all the information from this Google Sheet. So let me introduce one more window. Now, before I introduce one more window, there is something you should know. Now, this is the document ID. Okay, so basically, when we created a document, it has already given this ID. Now, this will come in handy. Okay, so that is why I'm showing this already. So first of all, let me just introduce one more window. So this is another action window. Okay, now I promise you this is the last one. And again, let's make it as Google Docs. Google Docs it is in the action event. How about we make it as append a paragraph to a document? So basically, we'll be inserting all the data of this person, that is Annie Milcom, into Google Docs. So let me just click on connect. Click on connect with Google Docs. Now remember this, we have already created a blank document. Now the idea is that inside that blank document that has been named 1-Annie Milcom- phone number, we are going to insert the details of Annie Milcom. So basically that's the idea, and that is the first iteration. Okay, so it is already by default showing the document ID, document name, that is 1-Annie Milcom- phone number. I'm going to toggle this to the right. The reason is because this is a static ID. This can't really change. So we want a dynamic ID. I'm just going to toggle this to the right, and it is already showing the ID of the document. So basically this is the same ID. Okay, let me just show you. This is basically the same ID. Now again, this is a static document, static ID. So let me just remove this. Let me just delete this. Okay, and let me just map the dynamic one. Let me just scroll down. So basically this is the fourth accordion. Okay, basically this is the fifth accordion. Fifth accordion. And let me just scroll down. And this is the document ID. It has been mapped. Then what are we going to do here is we are going to insert some text. So the text would be something like hello. And after hello, I'm planning to insert the name of Annie Milcom in the next line. So /n. Okay, so basically it will insert the rest of the data in the next line. /n it is. Now we have extracted the data from the JSON extractor Annie Milcom. Thank you for purchase. Okay. You will receive the package at, let me just enter the address of Annie Milcom, so that is New York. Also, you will be receiving emails at, and let me just add the email address. okay, and SMS at this phone number. Okay, so the phone number is this. Okay, I think we are ready. So basically, to append all this information into this particular doc, all we have to do is just click on save and send test request. Let me do that. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah. So any Malcolm, thank you for purchase. You will receive the package. Unfortunately, we have made some spelling mistake. Okay, so how about we just delete this? Okay. And once again, after making some corrections, you will get thank you for purchase. Thank you for purchase. Okay, you will get the package at this address. You will receive emails at okay. I think we are ready. Okay, so let us send one more time save and send test request. So let's have a look. Okay, so unfortunately, what's the okay? Thank you for purchase. It's okay. Hello, Annie Malcolm. Thank you for purchase. You will get the package at this address, and you will be receiving. Unfortunately, we forgot to fix the correct spelling of receiving. Okay, so let me just remove this once again. My point is very clear that you actually have to figure out how to format over and over again until you have got the perfect paragraph. Okay, so how about you will be getting emails at this email address. No, it's okay. Purchase. Thank you for purchase. Okay, all we have to do is again once click on save and send test request. Hello, Annie Malcolm. Thank you for purchase. You will get the package at this address. You will be getting emails at this email address and the SMS at this phone number. Excellent. So basically, Annie Malcolm has been added as a document. Now, what about the rest? So basically, we have scheduled to run this workflow at 11:30, that is the UTC time. Now, the associated Indian Standard Time is 5 p.m. So this will run at 5 p.m. Now it is around 4:44. So basically we will have to wait for another 15 or 16 minutes. But we won't. All we have to do is just end this, wrap this up. Now before we leave, let me just explain you the whole mechanism in a nutshell. So I'm just going to minimize all my windows. Okay, so I'm just minimizing all my action windows. Okay, so basically this is the whole process in a nutshell. First you integrated schedule. You basically bought the schedule. So the idea is that you will just trigger the system at a particular time. And then you have integrated Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect to extract all the data from Google Sheets. And then you have run the iterator to basically sort out the one row in Google Sheet. Now then we have run the JSON extractor to extract the details of a particular cell in Google Sheet. And then you have created a blank document in Google Docs. And after that you have appended a paragraph into Google Docs. So now there's a perfect flow of data between Google Sheets and Google Docs. Excellent.
In this video, we are going to see how to use OpenAI with Google Forms and Google Docs. So let's say that you're using a form builder application, which is Google Form here. So every time a form is submitted, let's say that there is this employee engagement survey in your office. Okay, so every time a form is submitted. Now what you want is the data that you have received through those forms. There is certain data for which you have to generate content, and you are using OpenAI for the same. OpenAI is an artificial intelligence and deployment company that helps you in generating content. And then what you want is you want to create a document, append the generated content in that document and just save it. How can that be done? For this, you will have to integrate the 3 applications, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. Here your trigger application would be Google Forms, then your action application would be OpenAI, and then Google Docs. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process. To understand that, let me take you to my screen.
To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and as we do that, here we have reached the landing page of this software. On the right hand side, you can see 2 tabs, sign in and sign up for free. So if you are an existing user, simply sign in. If you are a new user, click on this tab, sign up. It won't take more than 2 minutes. And also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. So now since I'm an existing user, I'm going to click on sign in. So as I do that, here we have reached the all applications page. We are going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect. And here we have reached the dashboard of this application. On the right hand side, you can see a tab create workflow. Let's click on this. And a dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now here my objective is that I'm using Google Form as a form builder application, and every time I receive a response, let's say it is a survey to understand what kind of articles should be taken for the monthly newsletter. So everybody is filling up the form and they are submitting their responses. So what we have to do is, once we have received the response, with the help of OpenAI, we are going to generate the content, and then we are going to create a document in the name of the title and then append the paragraph there. So I'm going to name it as Use OpenAI with Google Forms and Google Docs. Let's click on Create. So as I do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one here is action. Triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens and action is do this. Basically, action here is the response of our trigger application. So in this integration, our trigger application would be Google Forms. Let's click on this. And now the trigger event would be new response received. Here on the right hand side, you can see it is written, this trigger will instantly capture new incoming data and the workflow execution will start in real time, which basically means that this application has got no polling time. So as soon as we receive the response, then automatically the workflow is going to run, and then we would receive the content generated through OpenAI and then finally the document. So now, here you can see that we have received a webhook URL. This is going to act as a bridge for connecting Google Forms with Pabbly Connect. I'm going to copy this, and then we are supposed to follow the following steps. So please read this carefully. Now I'm going to show you what we have to do. So first of all, I'm going to take you to the Google form that I have created. So here you can see that it is written, this is a survey for monthly newsletter, and here is the subtitle, monthly newsletter articles. Then I have got the following fields: full name, contact number, email address, and then suggest a topic for the monthly newsletter article. So once I have created this form, here we have to go to the last step, and you can see a field required. We are going to toggle this towards the right and turn it on. Why? So that the moment the person fills this and come to the last question, the moment this is filled, automatically the response would be generated. So once this is done, we are going to go to responses, and here you can see 3 dots. Let's click on this, and here we can see it is asking us to select the response destination. So here we have got two options. Either there is an existing spreadsheet, you can enter the response there, or you would want to create a new spreadsheet. So I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. Let's click on create. So as soon as that is done, so this spreadsheet has been created, and as I click on this, see here we have got the following column fields: the timestamp, full name, contact number, email address, and suggest a topic for the monthly newsletter article. I'm going to format this so that you can see this clearly. So let me just quickly enhance the font size, and let me put some color here. Okay, so once this is done, now what I am going to go back to my Google Forms. Okay, and now I'm going to click on this preview and I'm going to fill up this form. So let's say the full name here is demo user. Let's make it capital D and capital U. So this is the name of the person, the contact number, then we have the email address, and now suggest a topic for the monthly newsletter article. So let's say marketing strategies to enhance Instagram reach. Okay, so now I'm going to click on submit. So as soon as I do that, here you can see that the response has been captured. So we have got one extra field over here, which is timestamp. It is going to capture the time and date when the response has been received here in the Google Sheet. Now once this is done, I have to connect this sheet with Pabbly Connect. I can rename this as well. So I'm here going to write Google Form responses. Okay, so now here we have to go to extensions, then we are going to go to add-ons. Here we have to go to get add-ons. So this here is the Google Workspace Marketplace. Now we are looking for the application Pabbly Connect webhooks. Let's click on this. Now you can see that this has already been installed in my system. So please make sure once you have installed this, close this window and refresh the page. This is absolutely important. And once we have refreshed it, we are going to wait for a few seconds and then we are going to go back to extensions. And here you would be able to see Pabbly Connect webhooks. We are going to go to initial setup. So here you can see that the sheet has been selected. Now this webhook URL that we had just received through Pabbly Connect, I'm going to copy this and paste this over here. And now comes the trigger column. The trigger column is the final data column where the data is added. So in this particular sheet, it is column E. So I'm going to write E here. Let's click on send test. You can see that the test data has been sent successfully. Let's click on submit and here you can see that the configuration is all set. I'm going to close this. Taking you back to extensions, let's go back to Pabbly Connect webhooks and here you can see send on event. Please make sure that you click on this to check on this so that every time a new form has been filled and the sheet captures the data, a response can be sent. Otherwise, it is not going to send the response. So here now you would be able to see that there is a check on this send on event. Now, I'm going to go back to Pabbly Connect to see if we have received the response. And yes, here is our API response. This here is the trigger column, the timestamp. Then this is the article's topic. Then we have the sheet's name, spreadsheet ID. Then we have the sheet name and then sheet ID, row index, full name, email address and contact number. Now what is my objective? I have to generate content with the help of OpenAI. So I'm going to click on this and look for OpenAI as my application. Here it is. Now the action event here would be to generate content. I'm going to click on connect. We know that OpenAI is an artificial intelligence and deployment company that helps in generating content and images instantly. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the OpenAI account. I'm going to click on add new connection. Now to set up this connection, first we have to log into our OpenAI account and then click on this hyperlink. I have already logged in, so I'm directly going to click on this. And here you can see that it is asking me to create a new secret key. I'll click on this and the API key has been generated. Let's copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect, paste this over here. To set up this connection, I'm going to click on save. So here we can see that OpenAI is now connected with Pabbly Connect. So once this is done, now we have to map this information. But before I do that, I'm going to take you to my OpenAI website. So this is my OpenAI website. You can reach here by typing www.openai.com. Once you have reached here, you have to click on API. As soon as you do that, here it is saying that you can build next generation apps with OpenAI's powerful models. This is an absolutely powerful application that can literally make your life a lot easier. And here I'm going to click on login. So as soon as I do that, we would reach the dashboard of this application where you can see certain tutorials and examples. Here we are directly going to go to playground, and as per the name suggests, this is an extremely interesting space. Let me show you how. So here let me say that I want to write a story on a flower. Okay. Now as soon as I have written this and I click on submit, let's see the miracle. It has automatically started to write a story. Now the best part here is that you can actually alter the length of this article as well. Now I'm going to throw some light on the various features that it has got. So here, first of all, we have got the mode and then we have the models. So we usually go for Text Vinci 003. Why? Because this is the most capable model in the GPT-3 series. It can perform any task the other GPT-3 models can. So it can process up to 4,000 tokens per request. Then we have the temperature. Temperature controls randomness. So as the temperature approaches 0, the model will become deterministic and repetitive. And as it approaches 1, so it is going to produce random responses. Now the next thing that we have here is maximum length. Maximum length is the maximum number of tokens to generate. So here you can request and use up to 2048 to 4000 tokens, and the exact limit of the number of tokens that we can use depends and varies by model to model. One token is roughly 4 characters for normal English text. Now comes the stop sequence. This is absolutely important. So the moment you put the stop sequence, automatically the API will stop generating further tokens. So let's say the stop sequence is // single hashtag. Then top P, frequency penalty and presence penalty. So this basically, like if we talk about frequency penalty, it decreases the model's likelihood to repeat the same line verbatim, and presence penalty increases the model's likelihood to talk about new topics. Then we have best of. So OpenAI can generate multiple completions server side and display only the best. You can select from 1 to 10. So every time the workflow runs, you will be able to receive 10 responses, out of which it is going to present to you the best one. Now the next thing is prompt. To understand that, let's click on this view code, and here you can see prompt. Prompt is basically the instruction that we have provided. So here we have provided the instruction, write a story on a flower. So this is our prompt. So I hope this is clear to you. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect and let's map this data. How do we do this? So first of all, we have the AI model. I'm going to select text Da Vinci 003. Then we have the prompt. So here I'm going to write an article on, and now I'm going to map the title. How do I do that? So it is showing me the previous step. I click on this and this is the topic. Now this is known as mapping. Mapping is that I already have the information in the previous step and I'm just going to retrieve it. And why is mapping important? Because every time you run the workflow, if I had written this manually, it would have only taken the manually written data. So the new data would never have been included, so the workflow would have been a waste, and that is why it is important to map the data. So once the prompt is written, then the maximum number of tokens. So here you can see that the default value is 256. Let's say that I want a big article, so I'm writing 300 tokens. Then the sampling type. So that the sampling type, here we have got two options, temperature and nucleus. Since I want random data every time, I'm selecting temperature sampling. Now comes the sampling value, presence penalty and frequency penalty. So here we have the range. So the sampling value ranges between 0 to 1, presence penalty and frequency penalty ranges between -2 to 2, and the default values here are 0.7, 0 and 0. So here I'm just going to write the default values, okay. And the next thing is stop sequence. So the stop sequence is // single hashtag, and then we have the best of. So I'm just going to write 1. Let's click on save and send test request. So as we do that, here we have received the API response, and this is the article that we have just received. So this is my article. So once I have received this, what is my next objective? My next objective is to create a document in the name of the title. So my application would be Google Docs. Let's click on this. And the action event here would be to create a blank document. Let's click on connect. Here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with a Google Docs account. I'm going to click on add new connection and then sign in with Google. So as I do that, here it is asking me to choose the account. Once done, it is going to ask me to provide access to the Google account. So this is absolutely secure. I'm going to click on allow to provide it the access, and here we can see that the authorization has been successful, which basically means that Pabbly Connect is now connected with Google Docs. And here I have to map the document name. So I want the name of the document to be the same as that of my title. So I'm going to click on this, go to step 1, and this here is the title, and this should be the name of my document. So let's click on save and send test request. So as I do that, I'm going to take you to Google Docs, and yes, here you can see that a document has been created. The name is Marketing Strategies to Enhance Instagram Reach, and this is a blank document. So going back to Pabbly Connect, what is my next objective? To append a paragraph here. So I'm going to add another action step. Again, the application would be Google Docs. Let's click on this. And the action event this time would be to append a paragraph to a document. Let's click on connect. I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection here. And now here I'm going to turn this map button on, delete this, and now I'm going to map the document ID. How do I do this? So we had received the document ID in the previous step. Google Docs, create a blank document. So I'm going to click on this, and as I go down, Here you would be able to see document ID. Let's click on this. Now the inserted text. What do I want to insert? For this I'm going to go to step 2, and this text here is the paragraph that is to be appended. Let's click on save and send test request. And once this is done, we have received the API response. I'm going to take you back to the Google document, and yes, here you can see that the paragraph is now a part of my Google documents, which basically means that this integration is a complete success. So I'm going to take you back to the form that we had filled. Let's click on submit another form. This time the first name here is test user. Then we have the contact number. Then we have the email address, which is testuser@pabblytudes.com. And then we have the topic. So let's say the topic here is why has Instagram become so popular? Okay, so this is my next topic. Now I'm going to click on submit. So here you can see that my response has been submitted. Now I'm going to take you to the Google Sheet first. So here you can see that the response has been captured here, and then we are going to go to the Google Docs. So let me show you the home page, and here we can see that another article has been captured in a document which has been named why has Instagram become so popular, and this here is our article. Isn't that fantabulous? This is so easy, and a lot of time has been saved here. This basically says that our integration is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what did we do. So here our trigger application was Google Forms, where we had the event as new response received. Then our action application was OpenAI, where we had generated content, and our final action application was Google Docs, where first we had created a blank document and then we had appended a paragraph to a document. I hope this is absolutely clear to you.
Guys, in this video you will learn how you can send Google Docs file as an attachment automatically to your Razorpay customers. So guys, here we are going to connect Razorpay application as trigger and Google Docs and Gmail application as the action. Okay, so here guys, as and when you get a new payment captured from Razorpay, a invoice kind of file will be created in Google Docs application automatically, and the same file will be delivered to your customer via an email through Gmail application automatically. And to make this happen, we are using Pabbly Connect, which is an integration and automation tool, and you can set up this automation very easily without any coding. So let's begin. So this is the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and we have pasted the same link in the description as well. From here, by clicking on sign up free button, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account, and you will get free automation tasks every month to set up and test your automations. Okay, so you can sign up right now, and then you have to select this Pabbly Connect product, and you have to reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here you have to click on this create workflow button to create a workflow of automation, and here you can give any suitable name to your workflow. So I am giving the name here as Razorpay. So after giving the name, just click on this create button, and you can see your workflow page is getting ready. And here you can see these two modules are here, the trigger and the action. So with the help of these two modules, we are going to set up this automation. Here in the trigger, you have to connect that application in which the trigger event is going to occur, and that trigger event is actually going to start this workflow. Okay, so in our use case, the trigger application would be Razorpay, and the trigger event would be a new payment getting captured, okay, from any payment page. So first of all, select Razorpay from here. Here it is, select it. Then you have to select the trigger event as payment captured, and it will give you this URL. This is called as a webhook URL, guys, and with the help of this, we are going to connect with Razorpay, and after that we are going to capture the response of that connection. So you need to follow these steps written here to create this connection. I can show you directly how you can do that. This is my Razorpay applications dashboard, guys. Here on the left hand side panel, when you scroll down, you will find this settings option. Click on settings, And under settings you will find this webhooks tab here. Click on webhooks. Alright, and here you can create a new webhook connection by clicking on this add new webhook button. And here in this field you have to paste this webhook URL. So just click on copy from here and then paste it here in this field like this. Okay, then you have to select the active events from this section. Active events means the event on which you want to send the data from Razorpay to your workflow, okay, to start your workflow. So I want that when a payment got captured, the workflow should start working. So check this box, payment.captured, and after that click on this create webhook button, and you can see a new webhook is saved here successfully, right? And here you can see in this workflow, as we have copied this URL, here it started showing waiting for the webhook's response. So this means now we can perform a test submission. Test submission means now we are going to open a payment page of Razorpay and we are going to manually create a test payment. Okay, so the data of that test payment will be captured here as the test data, and with the help of that test data we are going to set up this automation further. Okay, so you can find your payment pages from this payment pages option, and these are all the products I'm selling. And let us open one product. So let's say I'm selling a gym training membership here. So let me open this product. This is a membership and this is the page's URL. So I'm just going to copy it and let me open it in a new incognito window. Right. So this is a payment page I have created for gym's membership. So I'm going to make a test payment here. You can see we are in the test mode right now, so that will not be an original payment. It will be a test payment. So here let me put the name of my customer as dummy customer. And here let me put the email as dummy. And here let me put a number, which is also a dummy number. And here I am clicking on pay, and here you can see you can select the payment mode. I am using card payment mode, and let me fill in the details of a test card. This is not an original card. Okay, and here I filled the details, and here I am clicking on pay, and from this demo bank page you have to enter a random OTP like this 1234, and here I am clicking on submit, and here you can see the payment is successful of 350 rupees. So the payment is successful. Now let's check in our workflow if we got the data of this successful test payment or not. So this is my workflow, and here you can see the response got captured, and here it is showing you the amount of the purchase, that is 35,000, and it is showing 35,000, but actually the payment we have done is of 350 rupees. Okay, 350 rupees, but it is showing you 2 more extra zeros because it doesn't capture this decimal point in the workflow. So we are going to correct this data further in the steps. And here you can see we got the card details, the customer details, the product details, everything we captured here like this. Okay, after that what we need to do first we need to change this data. We need to rectify this payment data. Okay, for that I'm going to use the sections tab, and in the sections tab I'm going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect which is called number formatter. So search for number formatter here it is, select it, and in the action event guys you will find this perform math operation option. Select it, then click on connect, and here it is asking the numbers on which you want to perform any operation. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to map this amount label here in this field, and I'm going to divide it by 100 so that we can remove these 2 extra zeros. Okay, so to map this label here, just click on this numbers field, and it will show you the previous step or the trigger step and the drop down, and when you click on it, it will show you all the data that you have received. So from here only you can map the amount like this, then put a comma here and put 100. Okay, and here it is asking to select the operation. So here you have to select this divide operation. Select divide. So it is going to divide this number by 100. Okay, click on save and send test request, And here you can see in this result label we got the corrected amount 350. Okay, that's how you can correct the amount. And what other thing we want? So we got the data. Now what we want, that we want to create a invoice with the help of Google Docs application for this customer automatically. For that, just click here on this plus icon and another action step will open up, and here we are going to connect with Google Docs. So search for Google Docs here. Here it is selected, and in the action event you have to select create a document from template. Select this option. Okay, so guys, to create an invoice I have created a template of invoice. So let me show you the invoice I have created. Here you can see this is a template of an invoice I have created. Okay, and here you can see in the invoice I have all these variable tags added: the order number, the name, the product, the quantity, the price, the total, the email, and the date. So these are the things which are going to change with every new template that we are going to auto create with the help of Google Docs. So to get this new data changed here, we need to connect Google Docs here in this action step, and from here click on connect, and here select add new connection option, and then click on connect with Google Docs. And from here you have to select that Google account by which you have created that template. And here it is asking to provide some additional access, so click on continue from here, give the access, and you will be connected like this. Okay, so we are now connected, and here it is asking for the template document's name. So the name of my template document is this invoice medicine template. So select this name from this list. Here it is, the medicine template, selected. Okay, and then here it is asking for the new document's name. So here it is asking for the name of a newly created document that you want to create. So I am going to create invoices on the name of the customers only. So we got the name here in the test data that we have received in the trigger. Okay, here we got the customer details as well. You can see we have the customer details. So I'm going to use this data here to give a name to a new document or an invoice. So just click here, and from this first or Razorpay step, just map the name of the customer. Okay, and here it is asking for the document's location. So here you have to select the Google Drive folder in which the document is going to be saved after getting created. So here I have created a specific folder to save my newly created invoices, and this is a folder I have in my Google Drive named as Razorpay invoices. So you have to select this folder's name from this list. You can see it is showing you all the folders. Here is the Razorpay invoices folder selected, and now you can see it is all asking the order number, name, product, quantity, price, and all these fields. So guys, these are all the variable tags I have added here in the template. So to get this data change automatically with a new invoice, you need to map the values of these fields here in this workflow. Okay, so to map these fields, I'm going to use the test data that I have received in the trigger step. So just click here, and from this Razorpay step, map the name of the customer, which you'll find here like this. And for the product's name, use the same process, and you will find the product name here as well. Here is the product name. For the quantity, so we are creating the invoices for every order. Okay, and in the order section in the Razorpay payment page, we didn't have asked for the quantity because membership is a one-time thing. So usually people take membership in single memberships only, okay, not multiple. So the quantity will be 1 always. So in the quantity section, I'm putting 1 manually. Okay, so here in the price, use the second step in which we got the corrected amount. Map this result label from the second step. The total is the same. You map it from the second step only. And here in the email, use the first step, and you will find the email label here. Here it is. And for the date, okay, let's see if we got the date of creation of the order or not. Okay, so it is not showing the date. So for date, what we can do, we can use a feature of Pabbly Connect. Just scroll back to the previous steps, and here you will find this plus icon in between the steps. Just click on it, and another actions tab will be added before the Google Docs tab. And here you have to search for date time formatter feature of Pabbly Connect. And here you have to select the action event as current date. So it will retrieve the current date. That means the date on which the workflow is getting triggered. That means whenever you are going to get a order or a payment. Okay, so just click on connect here, and here it is asking in which format you want the date. So you can select the general format that we use, which is this, and we do not want to include time in this response, so just make it false, and then click on save and send test request, and you will get the date here in this result label like this. Okay, now we can map it here in this okay, it is also asking for the order number, and now you can see when I'm clicking here on any field here, it is not showing the previous steps. This means we have added a step before this step. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to refresh your connection with Google Docs. For that, you just have to click on this connected button one more time, and from here all the connections that you create with any application are saved in your account. And if you want to make the connection again with the same application, you can use the saved existing connections. For that, just keep this existing connection option selected, and here you can see the list of all the saved connections you have. From here you can choose any connection and then click on save one more time, and you will be connected again. Okay, so we are connected again, and here now when I'm going to click on any field, you can see, let's say on the date field, when I'm clicking, it started showing the previous steps. And from this third step, from the current date step, I'm going to map this date time label. And we have left one field also here, the order number field. Here, let me map the order number from the Razorpay step. Okay, so it's not showing the order number, but we have the order ID here. Let me map this only. Okay, so we got all the things mapped here. So guys, when you map the labels like this, what will happen after setting up this automation, whenever you are going to receive any new payment, the labels are going to be updated automatically, and you will see a new invoice getting created automatically. Okay, but the thing that you have entered here manually is going to be static. That is not going to change. Okay, now let us check our connection with Google Docs. I am going to click on save and send test request here, and a new invoice will be created and will be saved here in this folder of your Google Drive. Okay, let us see. I'm clicking on save and send test request. Okay, so you can see this is the response we have received, and let us check in our folder if we got a new invoice saved or not. And here you can see we got a new invoice with this name, dummy customer, because we have given this name to the file. You can see new document's name is the customer's name. Here you can see the same name, and let me open it. And here you can see, guys, in place of the variable text, we got the order ID placed. In the description, in the product's name, we got the product's name placed. Quantity is 1, unit price is 1, total is here, and you can see all the data is properly placed here in the place of these variable tags. You can see. Okay, so this is how it is going to work, guys. This is how you can auto create invoices using Google Docs. Now guys, it is time to share this invoice with the customer, and for that we need to have a link of this file that we have just created. So we got the file created, and the file is saved in my Google Drive folder. So to get the link, what I'm going to do, just click here on this plus icon, and here we need to connect with Google Drive now, because the file is in Google Drive. So search for Google Drive here, then select it, and then you have to select the action event here as share a file with anyone. Share a file with anyone, then click on connect, and from here you can use this add new connection option, then click on connect with Google Drive, and from here you have to select that Google account in which you have the drive and the file, and then you have to give some access. Just click on continue. That is completely safe, and you can see we are getting connected here. So we are now connected, and here it is asking for the file's ID. So guys, here you can see in the previous steps response where I have created the file, it started showing the document ID in this label. Okay, so this is the file ID actually. So I'm going to use this document ID label here in this field. So to map this label here, you have to toggle this map button to on first, toggle this on, then erase this field. Okay, and it will start showing you the previous steps. So from the last step, map the document ID like this. Okay, then click on save and send test request. And here you can see it started showing this response, and here it is showing you the file name and all these links. We have a web view link, a RTF link, the HTML link, the PDF link, the EPUB link, zip link. These are all the shareable links of the same file. So you can use any link to send the file. Okay. Now guys, to send the file, we are going to use Gmail application. For that, just click here on this plus icon and here connect with Gmail. Select Gmail now. And here in this action event, select send email option. Then click on connect. From here, select add new connection. Then click on connect with Gmail. From here, you have to select that Gmail account by which you want to send the email to the customer. Okay. And get it connected. Just click on continue. You can see we are connected. And here it is asking for the recipient's mobile number. So here we are going to put the email, sorry, not mobile number, recipient's email address. So here we are going to put the email address of our customer, and you will find the email address label from the test data that you have received in the trigger. So you can see we have this test data and we have a test email here. Just map it. We do not want to put anyone in CC or BCC, so leave these fields blank. In the sender's name, you can put your business name, your firm's name. So I'm putting here the name as, let's say, Team Razorpay. Okay, you can put any name here. In the email subject, I'm putting invoice of, and here let me map the product's name from the trigger step. Okay, this is the subject, and select the email content type as plain, and here in the email content, let me type a standard email for all my customers. So guys, here you can see this is the kind of email I have written for my customers, and here after dear I want to put the name of my customer. So I am going to map the name label that I have received from the first step, from the trigger, and here you will find the name label. Here is the name label. Okay, and here in this file name field and in the attachment field, I'm going to use the Google Drive step, that is the previous step, the last step. So from Google Drive, you can map the file name that we have created in the file name field, and in the attachment, you can use the shareable links. I'm using the PDF link that we have generated. Okay, and guys, you can check your connection by clicking on save and send test request with Gmail, and a test email will be delivered to this address. So guys, this is not an actual email address. So to show you the demo, what I'm going to do here in the recipient field, I'm going to put my email address, and I'll show you how the email is going to look like in my own inbox. Okay, so guys, this is my email inbox. Okay, and here let me click on save and send test request, and let's see how the email is going to look like. And this is the response we have received, and let's check in my inbox if we got a new email. And here you can see we got a new email with the sender's name as Team Razorpay. The subject is invoice of gym training membership, and this is the same subject I have entered here. You can see the sender's name, the subject. Okay, and let me open the email now. And here you can see, dear dummy customer, thank you for purchasing. We have received your payment successfully. And this is the invoice. And when you click here, you can see the invoice in PDF format, and this is the same invoice that we have created here. Okay, so this is how it is going to work, guys. So our automation is completed, and you have to set up it only once. After that, you don't have to do anything manually here. After that, as and when you are going to receive any payment in Razorpay, the invoice or any kind of document will be auto created and will be sent to your customers automatically, and our workflow is going to run in the background.
In this video, I will show you how to add Elementor form responses to Google Docs automatically. Now, you must be thinking that where this automation is useful. So, assume that you have created a form for the freelancers from where they can easily submit the content to you. So, what will happen every time the freelancer will submit the content? A document will be generated automatically into the Google Docs, and the same content will be updated automatically into the Google Docs application. So, if you also want to collect your Elementor form responses in Google Docs automatically, come with me and I will show you the whole process step by step. Alright, so I have created this Elementor form, and in order to collect all the responses into the Google Docs application, I'll have to build an integration in Elementor and Google Docs, and I am going to do that with the Pabbly Connect, which is an integration and automation software, and I'm an existing user of Pabbly Connect. So here you can see I am already logged in, and you can also create your free account in just 2 minutes from this sign up free button. And in the free account, you will also get free tasks to test this automation. Now, once you will create your account and reach to the dashboard, firstly click on this blue button, that is create workflow, and provide any random name to your workflow, to your automation. Okay, so I have provided the name as add your form responses or content in Google Docs. Now simply click on create, and then you will notice 2 boxes in front of you. Okay, so these are actually trigger and action. So here the trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So whenever this happens, then automatically do this. Understand with an example also. Whenever a sale happen in a payment gateway application, let's say, then automatically send an email to the customer via Gmail application. So this is how you need to always select the applications in which you are building an automation. And according to our use case, whenever the Elementor form is submitted, basically whenever any form submission is made in Elementor forms application, then automatically collect those responses into the Google Docs application. So this is how you need to select the application in this trigger and action window. So I have selected the same. Now I'm going to connect these 2 applications one by one with the Pabbly Connect. So firstly, select the trigger event. So you can also read the instructions here that this will trigger when a new form is submitted. Okay, so select this new form submission trigger event. So what will happen every time a new form submission is made into the Elementor, the details will be received via Pabbly Connect. For that, I'll have to first build the connection, and for the connection, I am going to use this webhook URL. And firstly, you will also have to read these instructions very carefully. Okay, so copy this webhook URL, then go back to your Elementor form whose responses you would like to collect into the Google Docs application. Okay, so firstly I am going to edit this form, and while editing I will paste that webhook URL inside this form only. Okay, so firstly you will have to select that form, and then you will notice an option of the webhook. Okay, select that option, and here you can see a webhook URL is already added. So I have deleted that webhook URL, and then I am going to paste this new webhook URL which we have received via Pabbly Connect, and after that simply click on update, and this is how the connection in between this form and Pabbly Connect will be successful. Now in order to test whether this connection is working fine or not, I am going to make a dummy submission via this form. Okay, so here you can see it is still waiting for the webhook response. So firstly I am going to submit this form. Alright, so I have provided the name, email address and the phone number of the person, and now I am going to submit the content. Here you can see I have already prepared a nice and a small content. So the topic of the content is digital marketing importance in driving traffic. Okay, so I am going to directly copy this whole content and I will submit this content here. Click on send, and you will notice once the form submission is made, the details will be captured via Pabbly Connect, and here you can notice that it is still waiting for the webhook response. Alright, your submission was successful. Come back to Pabbly Connect and wait for the response. And here you can see the responses received. So let me show you the details one by one. So here we have the fields, that is please submit your blog or content here. So in this particular field we have captured all the content. Here we have the same phone number, the same name and the same email address. So the presence of this data clearly shows that the connection in between our Elementor form and Pabbly Connect is working absolutely fine. Now I am going to submit this form. Basically I'm going to
send this form responses to my Google Docs application. So firstly, you will have to select an action event, and I want that a new document should be created, and in that document the content should be updated. Okay, so which particular action event I should select here? Okay, so here you can see create a blank document. Okay, so firstly we will create a document. So simply click on connect, click on add a new connection, and then you will have to provide the access of your Google Docs. Okay, so simply click on this sign in with Google. Okay, but I have already provided this connection, so instead of going with the new connection, I will go with the existing connection. In your case, if you are building this connection for the first time, you will have to go with the new connection only. Okay, here you can see it is connected. Now it is asking that what should be the document name which you are about to create. Okay, so I want the document name something like block submission via, and here I want that the name of the person should appear. Okay, so every time the form submission is made by a person, a document will be created automatically on his name. Okay, so I'm going to map the name of the person, and mapping is very simple. I don't need to manually copy the above data and paste it here. I'm going to map from this drop down. Okay, so search for the name of the person, that is demo freelancer. Okay, so whatever the details I have provided here manually, that detail will remain same, and whatever the details I have provided with the help of mapping, that detail will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time. Okay, so what will happen, the name of the person will be replaced automatically, and this block submission via, this will remain same. Okay, so here you can see a response is received. That means a document, a blank document with this particular name has been generated already. Okay, so let me check my Google Drive and refresh it. And here you can see block submission via demo freelancer. If I will open that document in front of you, you will notice that currently this document is blank, and currently this document is created into the root folder. Okay, basically it is not added into a specific folder. Okay, just in case if you want to create the documents into a specific folder, I will also show you the process of that thing as well. Okay, so here you can see this document is blank. Now to update the responses here, I'll have to add this Google Docs application once again inside Pabbly Connect, and this time instead of selecting this create a blank document, I'll go with the append a paragraph to a document. Okay, so let me search for the Google Docs once again here, and in the action event I'll go with this append a paragraph to a document, click on connect, and again I'll go with the existing connection only. Now it will ask you that in which particular document you would like to update the content. So here you can see a drop down is visible in which it is showing all the documents name. Well, I cannot select this document name from this drop down because I want that every time a new document should be created, and in that document the content should be appended. Okay, so that is why I am going to delete this name. Okay, so for that you will have to enable this mapping button, and then you can remove the ID of that document, and here I will provide the ID. Basically I will map the ID of that document so that the ID will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time. Alright, so I'll have to search for that ID, basically ID of that document, and here we have the ID, that is document ID. For the it is asking that which content you would like to insert. Okay, inserted text. Okay, so simply click on this particular field, and again you will find the above data here in the drop down. So how about I first map the name of the person, and then I will press enter, and then I am going to map the email address of the person, and how about I also map the phone number of the person, and lastly I will add the separation, and after that I will also add the content. Okay, so here we have the content. Okay, now simply click on this button save and send test request after mapping all the data, and here you can see a response is received. Let me check my document, and here you can see the responses have been added automatically inside my Google Docs. Okay, so here we have the name, the email address, and the phone number of the person, and here we have the
whole content. Okay, so this is how now onwards, every time someone is going to submit your Elementor forms, Pabbly Connect will instantly capture that data inside its dashboard, and then it will automatically send that data, basically update that data into Google Docs. Okay, so basically firstly it is going to create a blank document, and in that blank document we can easily update the content. Okay, just in case if you want to update this content into a specific folder, so instead of selecting the Google Docs application as the second step, you can also select the Google Drive application. Let me give you a quick brief that how you can do that. Okay, we're not going to add this step, but I'm just showing you how this process also can be done. Okay, so in the action event, firstly you can select that create a file in a specific folder. Okay, and here you can specify the name of the folder. Okay, let me show you. It will be connected, and here exactly you can specify the name of the folder, and then you can provide the file name and the file type. And once a blank file has been created into a specific folder, then you can either update the content, basically append the content by applying this Google Docs application once again. Okay, so this is the third step. Okay, I'm talking about this step. Or you can do the same process by applying the Google Drive application once again. It is completely up to you. Okay, so here you have two choices. You can perform the same task either by selecting the Google Drive application or by selecting the Google Docs application. Okay, so this is how now onwards, every time someone is going to submit the content via your Elementor form submission, the details will be captured via Pabbly Connect, and it will automatically update the form submission or the content into the Google Docs application. And just in case if you want to access this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach the link of this automation, this workflow, inside my YouTube description box. You just need to click on this link and sign up into the Pabbly Connect, and then you will be able to access this workflow, this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free. Not just these applications, you can integrate multiple applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. My team will surely answer to your questions. This is the website of Pabbly Connect, and for the latest updates of Pabbly Connect and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is formget.deals. If you have found this video helpful in any way, share it with your friends and colleagues, and also help them to automate their business. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.